This mansion is her final trap. Annie Brooks stood at the foot of the front steps, a canvas tote bag pressed tightly against her side. Her face was pale from running all the way there, but the determination in her eyes was strong enough to make Ethan Whitmore freeze. What? Ethan jerked his head up from the sale flyer in his hand. What do you mean? Annie? What are you doing here? Near the iron gate, a white sign planted in the lawn shifted gently in the wind. For sale cash buyers, welcome for a quick closing. I saw the listing this morning, Annie said, trying to catch her breath. Mr. Whitmore, the person trying to buy this mansion is connected to the woman who made you lose everything. Ethan stared at her. Annie had once been an intern at Whitmore Capital Technologies, quiet and hardworking, always taking notes while the other interns checked their phones whenever no one was watching. He remembered her as a serious young woman, but he had never imagined she would one day appear at his front door looking as though she were trying to stop him from stepping off a cliff. Ethan looked down at the flyer in his hand. Annie, I don't know what you think you've uncovered, but I cannot survive any more rumors. This house is all I have left. I know. No, you don't. Ethan's voice suddenly caught in his throat. You don't know what it feels like to wake up every morning and wait to see what they're going to take from you next. Outside the gate, a black SUV sat silently along the curb, its engine still running. Ethan had seen it there 3 days in a row. Yesterday, 2 men had stood on the sidewalk and shouted that the mansion would not protect him from his debts. This morning, another envelope had appeared beneath the gate. Sell before Friday, or you will lose your final chance. The phone in Ethan's pocket suddenly rang. He glanced at the unfamiliar number on the screen, hesitated for a few seconds, then answered. Hello? Mr. Whitmore, a man's voice said. I'm calling about your property. Is the mansion still on the market? Ethan looked toward the sign near the gate. Yes. Excellent. I represent a buyer who is prepared to close quickly with cash. No drawn-out inspections. No unnecessary delays. Given your current financial situation, a fast sale may be your best option. Ethan tightened his grip on the phone. Who is your buyer? That information can be disclosed once we know you are truly prepared to proceed. I'll contact you again this evening. The caller hung up before Ethan could ask anything else. He had barely lowered the phone when the doors of the black SUV opened. 2 men stepped out and walked toward the gate, stopping just outside the property. Hey, Whitmore, one of them called. Are you really selling that mansion for next to nothing? Or are you just looking for sympathy? The other man burst out laughing. We've already got a buyer lined up. You planning to throw in the furniture too? Or did the bank take all of that already? He leaned against the gate and looked at Ethan with open contempt. You'd better sell while someone is still willing to buy. A bankrupt man like you should be grateful. That money might keep you alive for another few months. His companion gave a mocking laugh. Maybe we can even find you some tiny apartment somewhere. A place more suitable for your new status than this mansion. Ethan's face drained of color. The sale flyer in his hand suddenly felt filthy, unbearable, as though continuing to hold it meant he was admitting every humiliating word they said was true. Get away from my gate, he shouted. The 2 men only laughed. You don't own the street, Whitmore. Sell the house, the man closest to the gate called back. Your pride won't pay your debts. Something inside Ethan broke. Get out of here, he shouted, but his voice was shaking violently now. Get away from my house. The 2 men exchanged pleased smiles before finally heading back to the SUV. The vehicle pulled away from the curb, its tires crunching over the loose gravel before it disappeared beyond the line of trees. Ethan remained motionless, staring at the empty stretch of road in front of him, as though he no longer had the strength to turn away. After a moment, he looked down at the sale flyer in his hand and tore it in half. Then he tore it again, harder this time, more violently, ripping through the photograph of the mansion, the printed asking price, and the words, urgent cash offer. The torn pieces fluttered down around his feet. Then Ethan collapsed onto the front steps, as though his legs no longer had the strength to hold him up. He covered his face with both hands, but he could not hold back the sobs that tore out of him. This was no longer the restrained crying of a grown man trying to hide his pain. It was the broken sobbing of someone who had spent too long pretending he was strong enough to endure one humiliation after another. I failed, he choked out, shaking his head again and again. I failed, Annie. I failed at everything. Annie quickly crouched beside him. "Mr. Whitmore, I built that company from nothing," Ethan cried. "I thought I understood people. I thought I understood the woman I loved. I even thought I understood my own brother." He struck a hand against his chest, struggling to breathe. "And now I'm sitting in front of my parents' house while strangers tell me it is worth nothing." His voice faded, breaking into ragged whispers. "I have nothing left, Annie. I don't expect to be rich again. I don't even want to beat anyone anymore. I just want to sell this place, pay whatever I can, and do it before they come back to take whatever is left." He lifted his head and looked back at the red brick mansion standing silently behind him. His eyes were swollen, empty, and filled with tears. "But this is the only thing my parents left me, the only thing that still has my name on it." Annie slowly sat down beside him on the steps. She did not reach for his hand right away or offer him empty words of comfort. She simply sat there and let him cry, letting all the tears he had held back for far too long finally fall, until his breathing no longer caught with every sound he tried to make. Then she spoke gently. "You did not fail just because the two people you trusted most decided to betray you." Ethan let out a bitter laugh through his tears. "Try telling that to the bank. Try telling that to the press. I'm telling you first." Annie's voice remained calm, but firm, "because if you hand this house over to them without knowing the truth, you will spend the rest of your life believing their crimes were your failure." Ethan wiped his wet face with his sleeve. "What truth?" Annie turned and looked directly at him. "The person behind the purchase of this mansion is Vanessa Reed." Ethan's hand stopped halfway to his face. "Vanessa? And Lucas too." Ethan stared at her in shock. "Lucas already took my company. Vanessa already took everything she wanted. Why would they still want this house?" "Because their plan from the beginning was to make you lose everything," Annie said. "The debts, the overseas wire transfers, the documents forged to make it look as though you had approved them yourself. They wanted you bankrupt, publicly disgraced, and desperate enough to sell this mansion for far less than it is worth." She glanced toward the phone still resting in Ethan's hand. "And the man who just called you was not trying to rescue you from your situation. He called to complete the final step of their plan." Ethan looked down at the torn pieces of the flyer scattered across the steps. His face had turned ghostly pale. "How could you possibly know that?" Annie opened the canvas tote bag at her side and pulled out a thin folder and a small tablet with a crack in one corner of the screen. "When the company began to collapse, I noticed records that didn't make sense. Wire transfers no one was allowed to question. Documents carrying your signature on days when I knew for a fact you were not even in the office." Ethan shook his head, his expression caught between confusion and despair. "That does not prove Vanessa and Lucas planned all of this." "No," Annie said, "but this does." She held out the tablet. "My father drives a taxi. 2 years ago, Vanessa and Lucas got into his cab after leaving a hotel downtown. They did not know he was my father, and they did not care that the security camera inside the cab was still recording everything." For a moment, Ethan stopped breathing. "They talked about forging your signature," Annie continued. "About the money being sent overseas. About the debts they plan to leave in your name. And about this mansion." She placed the tablet in Ethan's trembling hands. "Before you lose the last thing your parents left you, you need to hear what they said when they believed no one important was listening." Ethan held the tablet in his hands without turning it on. The cracked corner pressed into his palm, yet he made no move to let it go. In that moment, he seemed more afraid of that small black screen than of the two men who had just stood outside his gate, humiliating him. Annie bent down and gathered the torn pieces of the sale flyer from the steps.
I don't think you should be sitting out here much longer.
"You shouldn't sit out here,"
People can still see you.
"They can still see you." Ethan stared out at the road in front of him.
They have already seen enough.
"Then don't give them anything more."
Do not give your enemies anything more.
But there was a steadiness in it that Ethan could no longer find within himself. He braced one hand against the step.
It's okay. We're inside now.
Struggled to his feet and slowly opened the front door. Annie followed him inside, holding her canvas tote bag in one hand and the torn pieces of paper in the other. The air in the entry hall was cooler than it had been outside, but the silence made the house feel even emptier. Annie still remembered the last time she had visited Whitmore Estate. Back then, the mansion had been filled with men in black suits, gleaming silver trays, and flower arrangements so tall they nearly blocked half the room. Everything about the place had spoken of wealth and power. Now, Their footsteps echoed across the bare stone floor, as though the mansion had been drained of its soul before it was even sold. Ethan led Annie into the library. He stopped beside the large dark wood desk.
You understand the
while Annie
gravity
placed
of this
torn pieces
situation.
of the flyer
Yes.
on one corner. The tablet was still in his hand.
These are the fragments I
Before
recovered.
pressed play, Ethan
Tell me
said,
exactly how you became
his voice
involved in
rough.
this.
I want you to tell me exactly how you became involved in this. Annie drew a deep breath.
I never meant to be involved
never
and was
meant to
only
become
trying to complete the
involved in any of
internship
this.
your company accepted me into.
I was only trying to
You
complete
earned that
the
opportunity
internship
on your own
company
merit.
accepted me into.
And he was the
I didn't
only
hand you
person in that building who ever told
Ethan
her
said.
that.
You earned it on your own merit. A faint, sad smile crossed Annie's face. You were the only person in that building who ever said that to me. Ethan turned his face away. Her words left him unsure.
The first
how to
2
look
weeks
at
of the
her.
internship
Annie
went
sat
well.
in the chair
We had a
across
thorough
from the
orientation,
desk,
several
her back
formal
remained straight
presentations,
her
and started
hands
learning
rested
how the
neatly in
company's
her
payment
lap,
systems work.
as though some
A
part of her
record
was still
supervisor
waiting for
decided I would be
permission to
more
in that
useful
room.
working
The
downstairs.
first 2 weeks went well.
Supervisor
she began.
Johnson.
I attended
I understand.
orientation, listened to the
The executive
presentations,
management
and
program
learned how the
supposedly
company's
moved
payment
too
systems
quickly,
worked.
and that
Then
she would
Mr.
be more
Dalton and
comfortable
Records
handling
decided I would be
paperwork.
more useful working downstairs.
I was only
Ethan
16.
frowned.
They told me to
I
make my
remember
hair
Dalton.
look professional,
He said the
and I didn't know
executive
how to
management training
respond.
program
I should
moved
have done
very
more.
quickly, and I would probably be more comfortable.
You did more for
handling
me than
paperwork.
anyone else at the company.
Annie gave a bitter little smile. I understood what he really meant. Ethan did not ask her to explain further. He understood all too well. One morning, Annie continued, he told me I needed to make my hair
I've
look
reorganized the
neater
old
and more
financial files
professional
as
before
requested.
appearing in a
These
client
transaction
meeting.
sheets from the final
I
week
was
show
only
some
16.
irregularities when
I didn't even know
cross-referenced
how
with
to
the photos.
respond. I thought maybe that was simply how adults reminded a child to look professional. Ethan slowly lowered himself into the old leather chair that had once belonged
The
to his
polished
father.
woman handled the shell
The chair gave a
corporations.
quiet creak in the
We found her
silent room.
signature on the
I
Cayman
should have done
accounts.
more than just place you back in
seems
the
she's been
internship
involved from the
program,
beginning.
he said. You did more than anyone else there.
At first, they looked like ordinary
Annie
backup
opened her
copies
canvas
until
bag.
the dates
That
failed
is
to
why.
match.
Later, when the
They
news
added
made
these
the
approval
whole world
pages to the
believe you were
revised
greedy
version.
and
And the
dishonest,
disbursement schedule
I
is
could
missing
never fully
entirely.
believe them. She
It
took
hides
out a
the
thick
debt.
folder filled with printed
This is
photographs
everything
and
they
copied
missed.
documents. Ethan watched silently
I don't
as she
understand.
arranged
What is
each
this?
page carefully on the desk. During the final week of my internship, Dalton told me to reorganize some old financial files, Annie said. He was tense that entire week. Actually,
I remember the
almost everyone in
document.
the company was.
The woman I loved brought it to
People
me
shut
after
their
dinner
office doors
and described
whenever
it
Lucas walked
as part
by,
of a
and
regional
Vanessa kept
expansion
going in
plan.
and out of the finance
I believed I
department,
was signing
even
credit
though she had
approval for
barely ever
additional
dealt
property
with those kinds of
acquisitions with
records
limited
before.
exposure.
Ethan's expression
I trusted
changed
the
when he heard
financial
Vanessa's
review.
name, but he did not interrupt. I
This
found
document
duplicate
personally
sets of
guarantees
transaction
the entire
documents,
debt.
Annie continued. At first, I assumed they were ordinary backup copies. Then I noticed the dates did not match. One version included additional approval pages and a disbursement schedule that were completely missing from the earlier file.
This isn't possible.
She slid one page
It
across
has to
the
be a
desk toward
mistake.
Ethan. He picked it up. His signature appeared near the bottom, directly above the printed words.
This clause was not in the
Ethan
document I
Charles
signed.
Whitmore, Chief
I
Executive
would have
Officer.
remembered it.
I remember this document, Ethan said.
They may have
his
counted
eyes
on
never
you
leaving the
remembering
page.
only
Vanessa
after it was
brought it
too
to me
late.
after dinner one evening. She said it was part of the Charleston expansion plan. What did you think
Why
you were
didn't you
signing?
take this evidence to
Credit
someone
approval
sooner?
for additional property acquisitions. Ethan's voice slowed. Limited
Tried.
exposure.
I sent this to
Lucas
internal
said he had
compliance
reviewed
about the
entire
documents that did
financial
not
structure.
match and needed
Annie
review.
pulled another page from the folder and placed it in front of him. But in this version, you personally guaranteed the entire debt. Ethan read the page once. Then he read it again.
But
His
sir,
hand
the
began to
dates on this
tremble.
draft.
You're
No.
confusing the draft with the final
put the
agreement.
page
It's
down.
finalized.
Then immediately picked it up again, as though staring at it long
Accusations
enough might
against
cause
senior
the words to
executives
change.
could destroy
That clause was
opportunities
not
you
in
were
the
not
document
even
I signed.
qualified to
If
have
it
yet.
had been, I would have remembered. Maybe they were
The
counting on me
supervisor took back
remembering only
every
after it was too
document I
late.
had been working
Ethan
with.
stared at the papers spread across the desk, his whole face tense.
They said I didn't fit
Why
the
didn't you
company
take this
culture.
to
My
someone?
internship
I
ended
tried.
2 days early.
Annie
I am
reached for
so
another
sorry.
page.
I truly
This one, a
am.
printed email.
I didn't
sent
come
a
here to hear an
message to the internal
apology.
compliance address.
Regardless,
I
you
said there
deserved
were
one.
documents in the files that did not match, and that someone needed to review
It came
them.
because the same
Ethan
people
looked at
are
the
still
name at
doing the
bottom
same
of the
thing to
email.
him, counting
Annie
on
Brooks,
shame
summer
and
intern.
fear to keep
The
people
next morning,
silent.
Dalton called me into his office, Annie said. He told me I had confused a draft with a final agreement. He said the company had been very generous to allow me into such a professional environment, and that if I continued making accusations against senior executives, I might destroy opportunities I was not even qualified to have yet. Ethan closed his eyes.
How did
His
you
jaw
keep these
clenched
documents?
tightly.
I
He
don't
took
understand
back
how you
every
managed
document
it.
I had been working with. Annie continued. Then he
I just
ended
knew
my
something was
internship 2
wrong,
days
so
early.
I photographed
They
the
told
pages
my
with my
father I
phone
was
before
not
the
a good
files were
fit for the
taken.
company
I
culture.
understand. Thank you.
Annie, Ethan's voice broke. I'm sorry. She
After
shook
the
her
company
head.
collapsed,
I did
she
not
showed the
come here
pictures to
hear
her
you
father,
apologize,
who revealed
but
a
you
story
deserve
about
that
2
apology.
passengers in his
I came
taxi.
here because they are still doing the same thing
Did
to
your
you.
father keep the recording
Annie
all this
looked
time?
directly at him. They are still counting on people being too ashamed, too frightened.
He was just afraid
Or
of
too
wealthy
alone to
people,
speak up.
you know,
Ethan
lawyers.
turned toward the window.
He thought they would dismiss him as just
The
a
black
taxi
SUV
driver
had
making up
returned to its former
stories.
spot across the street.
He was also afraid
This
they might
time,
hurt me.
It no longer looked
That's
like
why
a
he did
vehicle
what he
simply
did.
waiting at the curb. It looked like a silent threat, a reminder
Why
that
did
they
your
were still
father
watching
change his
every
mind today?
move. These documents.
He saw the
Ethan
estate
said,
listed for
nodding
sale
toward
that
the
morning
folder.
and
How
recognized
did you
the
keep them?
address.
I took pictures with my phone
The
before
2
Dalton
passengers
took the
mentioned the
files away.
estate in the taxi.
At the time,
If you stay
I
silent,
didn't know
Father,
how
you
important
will
they
help
were.
complete their plan.
I only knew something was wrong. Annie paused before continuing. After your company collapsed, I showed the pictures to my father. That was when he told me
What
about
about
the
her?
2 passengers who had once
She
ridden
suspects
in his taxi.
nothing.
Ethan placed both hands
This
on
changes
the desk.
everything for us.
And your father kept that recording all this time?
I bought
He
it
was
for her.
afraid of Vanessa, of people with money, of their lawyers, of someone deciding he had made the whole thing up just
We
because
really
he drove
shouldn't
a
be doing this
taxi
in a
and they wore
taxi.
expensive clothes and walked out of luxury
Relax,
hotels.
darling.
Annie
It's our
lowered her
secret.
eyes. He was also afraid they
I
might
missed you
hurt me.
so much.
I know.
Ethan's gaze returned to the
Me
tablet
too.
in his hand.
We need to be
Then
careful.
why did he change his mind today? This morning, my
How
father
could you
saw
keep
your
this from
house
him?
on the real estate listing.
It was
Annie
the only
lifted
way.
her eyes and met Ethan's stare. He recognized the address because the 2 of them had mentioned the name of this estate while they were in his cab. My father said that if he stayed silent this time and let them take this house too, he would
He
be
actually
helping them
believes those
complete their
papers mean we
plan.
have a future
Ethan
together.
was silent for a long moment.
Isn't that
Then his
sweet?
finger touched the tablet
Such a
screen.
romantic.
The display lit up, revealing a paused image from inside a taxi. Through the rain-streaked window, streetlights glowed in blurred streaks. In the back seat, the camera captured only part
Let
of
the
a
victim
man's
believe the
shoulder in
lie a
dark
little
suit
longer.
and the pale coat of the woman sitting beside him. Ethan recognized that coat immediately. I bought that for her.
By the
he
time the
whispered.
victim
Annie
realizes
said
what he
nothing.
signed,
Ethan
he
pressed
will not
play.
have enough
The
strength
first
left
sound
to
was the
fight.
steady rhythm of windshield wipers sweeping
I trusted
across
him
the glass,
completely,
followed
but these
by the soft
documents
laugh
prove
of
he
a
was
woman.
behind it the entire time.
Vanessa turned
I
toward
can't
the man
believe he
beside her.
betrayed us.
When his face came into view, Ethan's breath caught in his throat. Lucas, right before his eyes, Vanessa leaned over and kissed him. Ethan gripped
Did
the
you
edge
see
of the
his
desk
face when
so
you left?
tightly that his
He
knuckles
actually
turned white,
believed I was
but he did
working
not stop
late.
the video.
He is
A few
pathetic.
seconds later, Vanessa lifted her left hand. The diamond ring Ethan
I didn't know what
himself
else to do.
had chosen for her glittered
swear I
beneath the
didn't.
faint ceiling light inside the taxi.
Keep playing the video.
Slowly, she
I wanna
slipped the
hear
ring
every
from her
word.
finger. Poor Ethan, Vanessa said, dropping the ring into her purse. He still thinks signing those papers means we're building a future together. Ethan's face went ghostly pale. Lucas gave a quiet laugh from the back seat. Let him believe that a little longer, he said. By the time he realizes what he actually signed, he won't have enough strength left to fight us. If you believe betrayal does not define a person's worth, please like this video, comment where you are watching from, and subscribe to our channel for more moving stories. Annie did not look at the screen. She looked only at Ethan, but his eyes remained fixed on the 2 people sitting in that taxi, as though every
They won't
word
find
spoke
anything.
was tearing apart
We're
the
almost
last
clear.
piece of trust he had been trying to hold on to. Keep playing it, Ethan said, his voice so low it was almost
I told
a
them
breath.
everything. He won't see it
I
coming.
want to hear every word. The video continued. For several seconds, neither Vanessa nor Lucas spoke. The taxi moved through downtown Charlotte, passing restaurants and office towers Ethan recognized from evenings when he and Vanessa had attended charity dinners together. Inside the cab, she sat close to his brother, the engagement ring hidden in her purse as if Ethan had already been erased from her life. Lucas loosened his tie. Did he question the guarantees?
Did Ethan
Vanessa
question the
laughed.
guarantees?
Ethan? He
I
asked
told him
whether
the expansion would protect our
the
future.
employees.
It was
I
enough.
told him it would protect our future. That was enough. Ethan's
done,
fingers
Ethan.
dug into the wooden edge
You should
of
have
the
seen this
desk.
coming.
On the screen, Lucas looked out the rain-streaked window.
The final loan
final
closes Thursday. Once the money clears,
Once
it will
the
be
money
moved
clears,
offshore.
North Harbor moves it offshore. Reed Maritime takes
Reed
its
Maritime takes its fee.
Hollow Creek
Creek stays clean until needed.
until we need it.
And every guarantee
And the debt,
carries Ethan's
every
name.
guarantee carries Ethan's name.
Don't worry,
Vanessa
darling.
smiled.
The transfer
It was
went
the
through
same
this
smile
morning.
She had once
We're
given
officially
Ethan
set.
across candlelit dinners. the one that had made a careful man feel safe
Ethan
enough
will
to
think the
stop
company
asking
failed because the
questions.
market
He'll
turned,
think
and by
the
the time
company
auditors
failed because
understand, the
market
board will need
turned,
someone to blame,
she said.
making the
By
betrayal
time
sound like
the
a polished
auditors
business
understand what
strategy.
happened,
The board will
the
be
board
handed
need someone
Ethan.
to blame. You hand them Ethan, and I walk away as the heartbroken fiance.
To
Lucas
freedom.
raised his glass bottle in a small toast. To heartbreak, Vanessa touched her bottle to his. To freedom, Ethan reached for the tablet, then
You don't
stopped
have to watch
before
every
his hand
second
touched
tonight.
the screen. His face looked drained, but his eyes remained fixed on the video.
Yes,
Annie
he has
spoke
to keep
quietly.
watching because he believed
You don't have
every
to watch
word
every
she ever
second
said
tonight.
and needs to know what
Yes,
she said when he was not
I
there.
do. His voice was unsteady. I believed every word she said to me. I need
What
to
about
know
the
what
house?
she said when I wasn't there. The recording
Whitmore
carried
Estate is
on.
already covered because
Vanessa
one of the
shifted in her
guarantees
seat.
attaches to Ethan's personal
What about the
property.
house?
He loves that house,
Ethan's breath
exposing
changed.
a calculated
Lucas
attack on
smiled.
legacy.
Whitmore Estate
That is
already
exactly
covered.
why I want the
One
house.
Of the
Are you
guarantees
sta-
attaches to his
Are you
personal
still angry
property if the
because your
company
father left it
defaults.
to Ethan?
He loves that house. That's why I want it.
His father
Vanessa
left
studied
everything
him with
meaningful to
amusement.
Ethan and explains that
Still
once
angry
Ethan is
because your
broke, he will
father left
sell,
it to Ethan.
and Hollow Creek
My
will make the
father
cash
left
offer
everything
through an
meaningful to
intermediary.
Ethan. The
Ethan will
company
never know
name,
it is them
the
until the
estate,
title clears.
His approval. Lucas's mouth
How much
tightened.
below market
When
the
Ethan
offer
is
should
broke,
be?
He'll sell. Hollow Creek makes the cash offer through an intermediary.
The offer should be
He'll
low
never
enough
know
to
it's us
humiliate
until the
Ethan,
title
but high
clears.
enough that a
Vanessa
desperate
leaned
man
back,
accepts.
satisfied.
The best
How
part
much
is that
below
Ethan will
market?
blame himself,
Low enough to make him feel
believing trust
humiliated.
was weakness
High
and love
enough
was
that a desperate
stupidity.
man accepts. The taxi stopped
That
at a
he
red light.
completely fell for it.
For one sharp moment, the camera captured both
I
their
can't
faces
believe he
clearly.
bought that.
Vanessa said. The best part is, he'll blame himself. Men like Ethan always do. He'll think trust was weakness, and love was stupidity. Lucas laughed. Wasn't it? The video continued for another minute, but Ethan no longer seemed to hear it. He stood abruptly and walked toward the tall windows overlooking the front lawn. His reflection appeared in the glass. Wrinkled shirt, unshaven jaw, shoulders bent by months of sleepless nights. Beyond him, the sale sign stood near the gate, with scraps of the flyers still scattered on the front steps. He had almost completed their plan for them. Annie paused the video. Ethan placed one hand against the window. She chose the flowers for the dining room.
She spoke of
he
children
said.
running through the
She
house
asked if
someday.
my mother would have liked her. She sat
she
at
was
that
just
piano
planning to
and told
buy
me
it
she wanted
cheaply after
children
breaking
running through
me.
this house someday. His voice dropped. All that time, she was deciding how cheaply to buy it after I was broken. Annie did not offer a quick answer. There was none. Finally,
Where is your father?
Ethan turned from the window.
He is waiting down the
Where
road
is
in
your
his
father?
taxi because he
In his
feared being
taxi,
unwelcome.
Down the road. He said you
My
might not
father
want him
kept the
inside after
recording for
seeing the
2
recording.
years.
Why would he think
He was
that?
afraid of what they would
Because he
do
kept
if it got
for
out
2 years.
sooner.
Ethan looked back at the frozen
Call the
image
father.
of Vanessa and Lucas on the tablet. Anger rose in him, but it did not belong to Marcus. Call him. Annie sent a message. Less than 5 minutes later, the sound of an older car came up the drive. A yellow and black taxi stopped near the front steps, looking small against the columns of Whitmore Estate. Marcus Brooks got out slowly, holding a worn cap in one hand and a compact hard drive in the other. When Annie brought him into the library, Marcus paused just inside the doorway. He removed his cap. "Mr. Whitmore," he said.
I'm truly
we are
sorry to
meeting
meet
like
you
this."
under these
Ethan
circumstances,
looked at the
Mr.
hard
Harrison.
drive.
Here
Is
is
that
the
the
drive
original
you
recording?
requested.
Yes, sir.
Does the
Original
hard
file,
drive contain the
trip log,
original
and payment
recording?
receipt.
It includes the
I kept
original
everything.
file,
Why?
The trip log,
Marcus
and the
rubbed
payment
his thumb
receipt.
along the brim of his cap. At first,
I first
because I
saved
knew
it
what I heard mattered.
because I knew what I
Later.
heard mattered.
Because I was afraid it mattered too much. Ethan
Later,
sat
I was
behind
afraid the
desk,
recording mattered
no
too
longer
much.
like the owner of the house, but like a tired man
I'm just a
asking
tired
another
man
for the
asking for truth.
Tell me what happened that night.
I
Marcus
picked the
nodded.
2 passengers up outside
I
a
picked them up
downtown
outside the
hotel late
Halsted
that
Hotel
night.
downtown.
They had both
It was
been
late.
drinking heavily.
They'd been
The
drinking.
cameras cover the front and
My
passenger
cab has
areas
cameras in
completely.
front.
We also have these
And inside
notices
the
posted
passenger
clearly
area,
on both
there's a
doors and the
notice on
seat
both
back
doors
for
and another
protection.
on the back of the
You
front
had
seat.
every chance to
Most
see the
passengers
notices.
Don't care. It's there for
But
my
important
protection.
people often fail
They
to
saw it.
notice what is
They
right
had
in
every
front of
chance
them.
to. Marcus gave a humorless smile.
The 2 passengers began
But people who
kissing
spend their
before
lives
reaching
being
Tryon
important
Street.
don't often notice what is right in front of them. Annie sat near
The
the
passengers
piano,
talked about
watching her
documents,
father.
foreign
Marcus
accounts,
continued.
and the man seated
They
before
started
him
kissing before
while
we
he
reached
kept his
Tryon
eyes on
Street.
the road.
Then they talked
They
about
discussed
you,
debt and the estate,
about
and
documents,
although I kept my eyes on the
foreign
road,
accounts,
I heard enough to
debt,
know something was
and
terribly
this
wrong.
estate. I kept my eyes on the
something's
road,
redstone
but
forward.
I heard enough to know something was wrong.
And the next
Why didn't you
week,
go to the
the
police?
news claimed
Marcus
the betrayed
absorbed the
man
question
stole
without
from his own
flinching,
company.
Because the
Every
next
station
week,
showed the
news
betrayed
said you
man's
had
face,
stolen
his
from
brother
your
stood
own
beside the
company.
board, and the former
Every
fiancée
station
spoke
showed
through her
your
attorney,
face.
making silence
Your
feel
brother
safer.
stood beside
I'm
the
just a
board.
taxi driver, sir.
Vanessa
My
gave
daughter, she's
statements
trying to get
through
into
her attorney.
college.
I was
You
one
thought nobody
taxi
would
driver
trust you
with a
against
daughter
them.
trying to get into college.
I understand.
So, you thought
I
no
feared
one
they would come
believe
after
you.
my daughter if
Marcus
I
looked
stepped
Ethan
into
in
the
eye.
story.
I thought powerful people had already decided who the criminal was. And I was
The
afraid they
recorded
would come
confession
after
led
Annie
us
if I
here.
stepped into their story.
These filings
Ethan
confirm
lowered his
everything.
head. He could not judge a man
Let
for
me see
fear
those.
when fear had nearly made him sell his own
One
home
company
that
name
afternoon.
mentioned in the taxi
Annie
led me
reached
to
into her
search
bag
public
and placed the
registration
printed
records
corporate
through a
filing on the
library
desk.
database, revealing the hidden
Dad
structure
told me
behind
one
the
of the
cash
names
offer.
they mentioned was
This
Hollow
holding
Creek.
company owns the business that
I
sent the
searched
cash
public
offer.
registration
And this
records
debt
through the
recovery
library
firm is
database.
directly tied to
Hollow
the men
Creek
at the gate.
Holdings owns the company
The
that
buyer
sent
and
the
the
cash
threats.
offer for your mansion.
It's the same shell
Asset
company.
Recovery
Your
is the
ex-fiancé
company
controls
sending
them
men to
both.
your gate. Ethan read the names twice. So the buyer and the people threatening me are connected. Yes, Annie said. And Vanessa is connected to both. Outside, the black SUV rolled slowly past the gate again, as if checking whether the house still stood. Ethan looked from Annie to Marcus, then to the paused faces
Make
on the
copies of
tablet.
everything.
Make me copies of everything, he said.
Does that mean
Annie
you
leaned
believe
forward.
us?
Does that mean you believe us? Ethan looked toward the place where the sale sign waited in the fading
I am not
light.
selling the
It
house
means
until
I'm
I
not
know how
selling
much
this
of my
house
life
until I
was
know how
stolen
much
with
of
my own
life they stole
signature.
with my own signature. The room remained quiet after Ethan spoke. Outside, the last of the afternoon light slipped behind the trees, leaving the driveway in shadow. Annie began gathering the papers from the desk, but Ethan reached for the tablet again. Send the files to me, he said. Marcus shook his head.
I need these files immediately.
Not to your
Just send them
email,
to the
sir.
off at email. It's the
Not
fastest
yet.
way.
Ethan
Email
looked
isn't
up.
secure,
Why
sir.
not?
I cannot do
Because
that.
I don't know who can still get into it.
Neither of
Neither
us
do
knows
you.
who can still
The answer
access the
stung
former
because it was
executive
true.
systems.
For years, Ethan had approved security systems, signed off on compliance reports, and listened to executives assure him the company was protected. Now he could not say with certainty whether the laptop in his own library was safe.
My father
Annie
wants you to
slid
meet
the
someone, I
corporate
tell ya.
filing toward him.
Talk to my lawyers.
There's someone my father
Do
wants
they
you to
even
meet.
know the truth
I
about
have
the video?
lawyers. Do they know about
Do your
the video?
lawyers know the
No.
woman who
Do
betrayed
they
you
know
is
Vanessa
connected
is
to the
tied
company trying to buy your
trying to
house?
Ethan leaned back in his chair. My
My
attorneys
attorneys have spent 2 years telling me the evidence against me is too strong and
that
bankruptcy is the cleanest exit.
way out. Marcus's mouth tightened.
Maybe the lawyers have helped you surrender
And
for
maybe
too
they've
long.
helped
Get
you
out!
surrender long enough. Ethan stood, anger flashing across his face. You think I surrendered?
I sacrificed my
sold
cars,
my cars.
my retirement accounts,
I
and
emptied
nearly
my
everything
retirement
I had
accounts.
to defend a name no
I
one
spent almost
believed
everything
anymore.
I had defending a name
I
nobody
spent
wanted
almost
to believe
everything
anymore.
defending my ruined
Marcus did not
reputation.
step back.
Look at me.
I didn't say you didn't suffer.
Are you happy now?
I said you're about to sign the last
I never
thing
denied
away.
the suffering, only
Before
warned that the
you've made the
businessman
people
is
who
about
did
to
this
sign away
answer
the
for
last
it.
thing he has
Annie
before
looked
making the
between
guilty
them.
people answer for it.
Dad. No,
Dad,
he should hear
maybe
it,
we
Marcus
should.
said,
He
still
must
facing
hear
Ethan.
this.
Mr. Whitmore,
I kept the recording
I kept
because I
that
feared
recording
this house
because I
would be
was
sold
afraid.
out of fear.
you were ready to sell this house
Fear
for the
makes
same
sense,
reason.
but still does the wrong
Fear
work for
makes
the wrong
sense.
people.
It still does the wrong work for the wrong people. Ethan turned away. He walked to the piano and rested one hand on its closed lid. Dust marked the side of his palm. My father left this house
His
to me,
father
he
left him
said.
the house, and his brother never
Lucas never
forgave
forgave
that
him for
decision,
that.
opening
But
a
I
deeper
never imagined
wound than
he would do
financial
this.
loss.
He let out a strained
I never
breath.
imagined the
I
woman
also
who
never
discussed
imagined
wedding
Vanessa
flowers
would
with
sit
me would
beside
also
me,
betray me
ask
with my
what kind of
brother and help
flowers I
plan the
wanted at
theft
our
of my
wedding,
home.
Then climb into my brother's bed and plan how to take
You don't
my
have
home.
to decide everything
Annie's voice
tonight.
softened.
No, it cannot wait.
You don't have
the
to
decision
decide
has to
everything
be
tonight.
made now.
Yes, I do.
The
He
cash
turned
buyer
back
wants
toward
an
them.
answer,
The cash
and the
buyer
debt
wants an
company
answer.
has given me
The debt
only
company
3
has given me
days.
3 days. If I stop the sale and this evidence goes nowhere,
If he stops
I
the
lose
sale
house
and the
anyway.
evidence leads nowhere, he could still
Only
lose
then
the
I
house.
lose it with
Only then
attorneys
with attorneys
me
charging him for the privilege.
Marcus
We
took a
have to
card
try.
from his wallet and laid it on the desk.
Here's your path
Evelyn
forward.
Carter. She used
He's a
to be
former federal prosecutor, the best I know for these
She
kinds of
handles
legal
financial
papers.
fraud and witness
The
retaliation.
lawyer handles
now.
financial fraud and witness
She won't promise you
retaliation,
a
but he
victory
won't
just to
promise
get you
victory
through her
just to
door.
lure you in.
Ethan picked up
This
the
offer
card.
is honest,
The office
not
address
comforting.
was in Uptown Charlotte. Beneath Evelyn's name were the words financial fraud.
Why would this
whistleblower
lawyer listen when
protection,
everyone else
civil
stopped?
recovery. Why would she listen to me when
We
everyone
saw the
else
listing
stopped?
this morning.
She already listened to me. Marcus
I've already
said.
spoken to a
I
lawyer
spoke with
about
her
the
this
mansion.
morning, after I saw your house listed.
The
She
lawyer
told me
warned me not
send
to
the
email
original
the the original file or contact anyone tied to the old company.
Ethan looked sharply at him.
Why did you go to
You
a
went
lawyer before coming here?
I wanted to know whether
I needed to know if
your
bringing
door
my
would
daughter
put her
to
in
this
danger.
mansion would put her in
And
danger.
Marcus glanced at Annie before answering. She said the danger may already exist if those people learn what we kept. The weight of that settled over Ethan.
Give me the
Annie
copies
was
now.
standing
I'm
in
handling
his
this
house
alone.
because
It's
she
too
had chosen to
dangerous.
help him.
What? Are you
But she
serious?
was also standing closer to
We're in
Vanessa
this together.
and Lucas than she had been that morning.
You cannot
No,
erase my
Ethan
name from
said.
the internship
This
records,
stops now.
nor can you erase my
Give me the
father from the
copies.
taxi log.
I'll handle
I
it from
refuse to
here.
be protected by
Annie
being
stared at him.
dismissed.
You're
You
too
can't.
young to understand
I
what
can keep
cornered
you out of
enemies
it.
can do.
You can't erase my name
I
from the
already
internship
understand
records.
men in suits telling me to
You
keep my
can't erase
place.
my father from the
I
taxi
understood
log.
enough when my father kept looking
you
over
can't
his shoulder
pretend we
because
didn't
rich
already
people
choose to
valued his
come
life
here.
less.
You're too young
Don't
to
protect them
understand
by
what
giving
they'll
our
do when
enemies what they
feel
want.
cornered. Her eyes
The
hardened.
terms are simple,
I
Daniel.
understood enough when
Sign
men
the
in
papers
suits
by
told me to
midnight,
keep my
or the
place.
deal is
I
off the
understood
table
enough when my
permanently.
father kept looking over his shoulder because two
The
rich
buyer
people
can
thought
move
his life
immediately,
mattered less than
and
theirs.
that liens
She
against
took
the
a breath.
property make the
Do not
cash
protect
offer
us by
his
giving
only
them what they
realistic
want.
option.
Ethan opened his mouth.
Then-
Who is
then
the
closed
buyer?
it. His phone
Disclosure
rang again.
follows acceptance.
The
Then I
same
refuse
unknown number
acceptance.
appeared on the screen.
We're done here.
He answered this time on speaker.
Or taken
Mr.
through
Whitmore,
legal
the man
process.
said,
We
I
will
hope
see
you've
you
had
in
time
court.
to consider our
Goodbye.
offer. My buyer is prepared to move immediately.
Do not
Given the
call
liens
again
against
without
the
going through
property.
counsel.
That may be your only realistic option. Ethan's eyes stayed on Annie. Who is the buyer? He asked. As I explained, disclosure follows acceptance. Then there is no acceptance. A pause followed. The voice became less polished. I would advise you not to make this personal. Houses can be sold voluntarily, or they can be taken
need to
through
see the
legal
lawyer.
process.
She is waiting.
Either way, your creditors will be paid first. Ethan's hand trembled, but his answer did
I
not.
haven't had
Do
anyone
not
waiting
call
for me in a
again
long
without
time.
going through counsel.
Don't keep the
He ended
lawyer
the
waiting.
call. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Then Ethan crossed the library, picked up the unsigned sale agreement from the corner of his desk and read the buyer's company name again. Hollow Creek Holdings, LLC. He tore the signature page once, then again. The sound carried through the empty house. I need to see this lawyer, he said. Marcus nodded. She's waiting. Ethan looked down at his wrinkled shirt and worn shoes. I haven't had anyone waiting for me in a long time. Annie slipped the tablet back into her bag. Then don't keep her waiting. They left through the front door together. As Ethan reached the bottom step, he stopped beside the sale sign. He gripped the wooden post with both hands and pulled until the damp earth gave way. The sign came free, leaving a dark hole in the lawn. He laid it face down beside the torn flyer. The black SUV was no longer at the gate, but Ethan knew the people inside it would return. This time, they would not find a man waiting to be stripped of what remained. They would find a man who had finally stopped signing whatever his enemies placed in front of him. Evelyn Carter's office occupied the third floor of an older brick building near uptown Charlotte, above a tax accountant and a dentist whose waiting room lights had already been turned off. By the time Marcus parked his
Are you all
taxi
right?
at the curb, the sky had turned dark and the city windows reflected against the windshield.
I'm not all right,
Ethan
but I'm getting
remained
out
in the
anyway.
passenger seat for a moment, looking at the building. Annie
This is
opened
how
her
hard
door.
things begin.
Are you all right? No, he
Welcome.
said, but I'm
Please
getting
make
out
yourselves
anyway.
comfortable.
Thank
Marcus
you.
gave a
It's good to
quiet
meet you in
nod.
person.
That's
pleasure
usually
is
how
mine.
the hard part starts.
Shall we begin?
Evelyn met them in a small conference room lined with
Thank
legal
you for
books
coming
and
in
cardboard
tonight,
file
gentlemen.
boxes.
Yeah.
Miss
She was
Williams,
black
it's a
woman in
pleasure
her
to
early
meet you.
60s,
Shall
wearing
we
a
get
gray
started?
suit with a pair of reading glasses hanging from a chain
I
at her
understand this
collar.
has been a difficult
She shook
afternoon.
Marcus's hand first.
I was
then
about
Annie.
to sell my
Before
house to
turning
the people
Ethan.
who may have stolen
Mr.
everything
Whitmore,
else.
she said.
The court
I
filing is
understand you have had a
unavoidable.
difficult
We must
afternoon.
address the
I was
insolvency
preparing to sell my
directly
house
if we
the
hope to
people who may
protect
have
the
stolen
remaining
everything else
assets.
from me. That qualifies.
This drive contains
There was no
everything they
pity in
tried
her
to hide.
voice,
And the
only
photos
attention.
confirm the timeline.
Ethan
They
found
tore
that
this
easier
up,
to bear.
but we have
Marcus
copies.
placed the hard drive on the table. Annie added her folder of photographs and copied records. Ethan laid down the torn sale agreement he had brought from the library, its ripped signature page taped together just enough for the company name to be read. Evelyn put on her glasses and worked through the materials without rushing.
And this hard
She
drive
asked
contains the
Marcus
original
about the taxi
unedited trip
camera.
data?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
notices
It
inside
uploads
the
directly
vehicle,
from the taxi
the
camera
trip
system
record
at the
and
end
how
of
the
each
original
shift.
file had
Nobody
been
touches the
stored.
raw file.
She asked
Where did
Annie
you see
where
the
she had seen
documents, and did you
documents,
enter
and
any
whether she
protected
had
system
entered
to
any
retrieve
protected
them?
system to
I
retrieve
accessed
them.
them through the
No,
public
ma'am,
folder, just
Annie
like I was
said.
trained.
They assigned me
I was
sort
assigned to
paper
sort
files.
these paper files and
I
only
photographed
photographed the
pages
pages that were already in
me.
front of me.
Evelyn looked over her glasses. Do
There
not
is no
apologize
need to
for seeing what
apologize for
somebody left
reporting
where
what
were
you
told to
saw.
work.
You
Annie
acted
sat a little
responsibly,
straighter.
and we
When
stand
Evelyn
behind
reached
you
the proposed
completely.
purchase agreement for Whitmore Estate, she compared it with one of Annie's records. Hollow Creek Holdings, she said. The proposed buyer.
Both the buyer
Creek
and the
Asset
collector are
Recovery.
linked to Hollow
Is the
Creek.
debt collector contacting you?
They've been
Ethan
outside
nodded.
my gate
They
almost
have men
every day
outside my
since.
gate almost every day.
Did the
Have they
men threaten physical harm?
Not directly.
They preferred reminding me that a bankrupt man has limited choices.
That may be useful
Tonight,
later.
they preserve everything,
Evelyn
and
closed the
tomorrow
folder.
morning, she will
Tonight,
file for emergency
we
relief
preserve
to
everything.
suspend any transfer
Tomorrow
of the
morning,
property.
I will
Do
file
not
for
accept
emergency
calls from the
relief
buyer, the
to
former
suspend any
fiancé,
transfer
or your
of the
brother.
property
They speak to me
and
now.
request preservation of relevant financial
What happens
records.
if a judge says
you
no?
are not to accept
Then we
calls
determine
from
the
Hollow
next
Creek,
lawful step.
Vanessa Reed, or
We won't
Lucas
make false
Whitmore.
promises, but this
They
case
speak
is
to me
serious
now.
enough to pursue.
Ethan almost laughed.
After all this time,
And if a
counselor,
judge
do you
says
really
no,
think this
then
evidence
we
is real?
determine the next lawful
We
step.
wouldn't be here if
do
I
not
didn't
promise
believe it was
results
solid.
Before evidence earns them. He studied her for a
I
moment.
cannot return your lost
You
years
believe this
tonight.
could be real?
But I
believe
can
your
help
former
you stop
fiancé
giving
and your
away
brother
tomorrow.
discussed a plan in a recorded vehicle, and the name they used appears in an active effort to acquire your home. That is enough for me to take seriously. She removed her glasses.
Actually, if you don't
Mr.
mind, the
Whitmore,
gauge is looking
I
a bit
cannot
low.
give you back 2 years tonight.
You can just drop me
I can
right
help
here at
you
the
stop
house.
giving away tomorrow.
Understood, sir.
It was nearly 10 when they left her office.
Is there
Marcus
heat at the
started
mansion?
toward Whitmore Estate.
The heating
but
only
Ethan
works
noticed
when the
fuel
gas
gauge
company
close
is
to
patient.
empty. Drop me at the house, Ethan said.
We're going
I'll
to
be
my
fine.
house.
Marcus did
There's
not
a
answer
warm bed
immediately.
waiting and a hot
Do
plate
you
of
have
food
heat
with your
there?
name on it.
Ethan looked out the window. Annie turned
You
in
can't
her
keep
seat.
deciding for everyone
Mr.
who is
Whitmore,
trying to help.
The heating system works, he said.
Pride won't
When
serve
the
you
gas
now.
company
We are
is being
here.
patient, Marcus made a turn away from the road leading to the estate. Where are we going? My house, Marcus said. I am not moving into your home. No one asked you to move in. I'm offering one warm
Don't
night
forget
and a
those
plate of
deadlines,
food.
baby girl.
Marcus,
I won't. I
can't
already sent
impose
the
on you.
applications.
Annie faced forward again. You were about to
They
sell
say
a
the stew
mansion
is even
because you
better the
thought
second
being
day.
alone was your only
There's
option.
plenty here.
No, really, I
Maybe
couldn't
stop
eat another
deciding
bite.
For everyone who is willing to
I'm
help
fine,
you.
really. Not
Ethan
hungry at
had
all.
No answer
Here,
that did
have
not
some
sound
cornbread.
like pride.
Well, perhaps
The
just a
Brooks
small
home was
piece.
a small
Thank you.
one-story house behind a row of maple trees.
We
several
offer
blocks from
thanks for this
Marcus's garage.
food,
2
for
rocking
shelter,
chairs sat on the
and for
porch.
courage for tomorrow.
One had a folded
Amen.
blanket over its back. Inside,
Amen.
the living
Amen.
room opened into a kitchen with yellow walls, family photographs on the refrigerator, and a calendar
You really
marked
needed
with
this
Annie's
meal, didn't you?
college application deadlines.
There's plenty more where
Marcus
that came
took a
from.
pot from the refrigerator and set it on the stove. Chicken stew. It stretches
sorry.
better the second day. I'm not hungry, Ethan said.
I know my
His
manners aren't
stomach
usually
answered
this
before
bad.
Marcus could.
What are
Annie
you
pretended
apologizing
not to
for?
notice. I'll warm the cornbread. They ate at a
I
small
forgot how
table
hungry
with
I
4
was.
chairs. Marcus bowed his head before lifting his spoon. Lord, thank you
A
for
man
food,
can think
for
better
shelter, and
after
for the
he
courage
eats.
to do tomorrow what we were afraid to do yesterday. Amen. Amen.
You can
Annie
stay here
said.
for the night. The
Ethan
sheets are
hesitated,
clean.
Then repeated it.
Thank you so
the stew
much.
was hot, filled with chicken, potatoes, and carrots. Ethan ate
This is
slowly
charity.
at
I don't
first,
need this.
Then faster until he realized
Call it
Annie
what
had
you
stopped
want.
eating
It's warm and
was
it's
watching
safe.
him with quiet concern. Sorry. he
Tonight
said,
you need one room
setting
where
down
nobody
his
is
spoon.
shouting at your gate.
For what? Marcus asked. Ethan looked
Just
at
tonight.
the bowl.
Thank you.
I suppose I forgot how hungry I
Mr. Brooks,
was.
the court
Marcus
granted the
passed him
injunction.
cornbread without
The estate
comment.
sale is
A
temporarily
man can
halted
think better
pending
after he
review.
eats. Later, Annie showed Ethan a narrow room
The order
attached
is not
to the rear
victory,
of the garage.
but time.
It had
I
a twin
understand.
bed, a lamp, a dresser, and a small electric heater. My uncle used it when he visited, she said. The sheets are
Time
clean.
is more than the
Ethan stood
exhausted
in the
man
doorway.
had yesterday.
I cannot stay here. Why? Because yesterday
I
lived
need
in a
work
house
because
with
I
14
cannot
rooms.
live on your
Annie
meals
leaned
and
against the
spare
doorframe.
room while you risk your
And
livelihood
tonight,
for me.
you need one room where nobody is shouting at your gate.
You
He
now
lowered his
sound
head.
less like
Just
a man
tonight,
waiting to
she added.
disappear.
Just tonight, he agreed. The next morning, a call from Evelyn arrived
Calvin,
before
this here is
breakfast.
Mr. Davies.
A judge had
He's the
issued
feller
a
I was telling
temporary
you about.
order
Pleasure to
preventing
meet
the
you,
sale
sir.
of
Good to
Whitmore
meet you
Estate
too,
until
Calvin.
the ownership and debt claims could be reviewed.
Have you ever
Ethan
changed a
sat at
tire,
Marcus's kitchen
changed
table
oil,
holding the phone,
or even
unable
swept a
to speak.
garage?
It isn't
No,
victory,
I can't say I
Evelyn
have.
warned him. It is time. Use it
Sweeping is
wisely.
something he believes
When
he
the
can
call
learn,
ended, Marcus poured him
accepting the
coffee.
lowest starting point.
Time is more than you had yesterday. Ethan nodded.
Start
I need
there.
Work. Marcus
Let's see if
lifted an
belief can
eyebrow.
survive the dust.
Work? I cannot live on your meals and your spare room while you risk your livelihood for me. Annie smiled faintly. Now you sound less like a man waiting to disappear. Marcus drove him to Calvin Reed's garage that morning.
That's an honest
Calvin was
day's
a
wage.
broad-shouldered
Good
man
work.
with silver
It feels
hair.
good. Thanks.
Coveralls stained by 40 years of engines and a radio playing old country music above the workbench.
Excuse me,
Marcus
could you pull over
introduced
at the
them.
grocery store up ahead?
Calvin,
No problem.
this is Ethan. He needs honest work. Calvin wiped his hands on a rag. You ever changed a tire? Ethan shook his head. Changed oil? No. Swept a garage?
Just got back from the store.
Ethan looked at the broom by the wall.
Thought we could use
That I
these.
believe I can
Oh my
learn.
gosh, you didn't have to
Calvin
do
tossed him a
that.
pair of
Thank
work
you.
gloves. Start there.
You didn't
We'll
have to
find
buy the
out whether belief
groceries.
survives the dust. By the end of the day,
That is exactly why I
Ethan's
wanted
back
to do it.
ached. His hands were sore and his shirt smelled of oil. Calvin handed him a small envelope of cash. On the way back to the Brooks house, Ethan asked Marcus to stop at a grocery store. He bought coffee, milk, bread, and enough chicken for another pot of stew. When Annie saw the grocery bag, she smiled. "You didn't have to do that." "I know," Ethan said, setting it on the kitchen counter. "That's why I wanted to." For the first time since losing his company, he had earned something no one could claim had been signed away from him. Ethan woke before sunrise in the narrow room behind the garage. For a few seconds, he did not know why the ceiling was so low, or why his shoulders hurt when he sat up. Then he saw the work gloves Calvin had given him resting on the dresser, their palms darkened by oil, and remembered the judge's temporary order. Whitmore Estate was still his, at least for now. He folded the blanket and carried his empty coffee mug into the Brooks kitchen. Marcus had already left for an early airport pickup. Annie sat at the table with her laptop open, surrounded by manila folders and loose pages. The groceries Ethan had bought the night before were arranged neatly beside the refrigerator, as though buying milk and bread had earned him a small place in the household.
You're up early.
"You're up early,"
Yes,
he said.
I had some work
So
to
are
finish.
you. I spent 30 years waking up before the market opened. My body hasn't accepted that I sweep garage floors now. Annie closed one file and pushed a mug toward him. "Coffee." I made it strong. Ethan took the seat across from her.
Okay, what exactly is all this? What are we
The
looking
records
at
I
here?
told you about.
Right. Let's
Evelyn
go
asked
through the
me
folders.
to organize everything by date before we meet her tonight.
We've got the
He looked
records
at the pile.
organized by
You
date.
kept more than
Everything is ready
photographs.
for the meeting
Not
tonight.
much more.
It finally feels like
Notes.
the case is taking shape.
Public filings.
I kept the notes,
few emails
the
I
public
printed when I was
filings,
still
and
at
the
the company.
emails.
She hesitated.
I just didn't know if
I didn't
any
know
of it
whether
would
they
matter.
would matter. Ethan picked up the first page. It was a copy of a loan guarantee bearing his signature. He recognized the elegant blue stroke of his name, the one he had developed when Whitmore Capital first became successful, and he found himself signing documents faster than he could read them. He turned the page. The attachment listed a personal guarantee against his investment accounts, company shares, and Whitmore Estate. His coffee remained untouched. "This wasn't attached when I signed," he said. Annie opened
The
another
attachment was
folder.
not there
"How can
when
you
he
be sure?"
signed.
"Because I would never have used this house as collateral for a company expansion.
I gave my father my word.
My father made me promise
The
that
house
business
was never
trouble would
supposed to be
touch the
collateral,
estate.
no matter
Did
how
Vanessa
bad the
know
business
that?
got.
Ethan let out a dry breath.
Did she know about the promise?
She knew everything that mattered to me. Annie placed two versions
knew
of the
everything
agreement
that
side
mattered
by
to me.
side. The first copy was in a general financing
Look at this
folder.
clause right here. It
The
directly
second was
conflicts
filed
with the version we got
guarantee
last month.
documents.
I see it.
The
So they
signature
intentionally
page is the
obscured the
same,
liability
but
shift.
the pages before it are
The
different.
signature pages are
Ethan
identical
compared
in
the
both
small
files,
markings
but
at
the
bottom of
earlier
each
pages
page.
differ.
The signature
the
page
scan
carried
numbers
the
down
same
here.
scan number in both files.
The signature pages,
The preceding
they're
pages
identical.
did not. They took
But the rest
page
of the
I
file
signed
is
and
different.
attached it to a different agreement.
It's a shell
That's
game.
what Evelyn thinks a forensic examiner may
They
be
took
able
the
to
page I
prove.
signed and
He
attached
pressed a
it to a
finger
different
against
agreement.
The signature.
A
Vanessa
forensic
brought me these
examiner may
documents
be
at
able to
home.
prove it.
She poured wine. She asked me whether I trusted her. He shook his head once. I actually apologized for making her wait while I glanced through them. Annie did not tell him he should have known better.
See these
That made it
transfers?
harder.
They
She
started
handed him a
just
printed
days after the
spreadsheet.
agreement was filed.
These transfers
definitive
started 6
proof.
days after that
He
agreement
moved
was
everything.
filed. Rows of
See how
amounts
the money
moved through
flows from the subsidiaries
Ethan had
right
once
into these
assumed were
unknown
ordinary
entities.
project entities.
They laundered
Then
it.
the money split into
It went
payments to
straight
companies
through.
he did not know.
Look at this.
North Harbor
Incorporated
Global
last week.
Trust.
She used the
Reed
Shell
Maritime
Corporation.
Consulting.
Exactly. And the address
Hollow
traces
Creek
back to a
Holdings.
mail forwarding
Reed,
service.
he said, Vanessa's last name.
They saw only
She
what
told
they were
me Reed
paid to
Maritime
see.
belonged to a coastal development partner. I checked the North Carolina registration portal. It was formed 3 weeks before the transfers began. The mailing address matches an office rented by her attorney. Ethan rubbed his forehead.
What happened
How
when
did
you
a
questioned
summer
the company
intern see
names?
this when my auditors did not?
I went straight to
Annie
internal
glanced at the
compliance.
papers.
This is the warning
Maybe they
I
saw
sent them.
what they were paid to see. The
See,
words landed
I
without
wrote that I might be
accusation,
misunderstanding
but Ethan
this,
felt
but
them anyway.
these specific
He had hired the
transfers look
executives.
inconsistent with the
He had
others.
built the culture that made it possible for questions from someone like Annie to disappear before reaching him. What happened when you asked about the company names? He said. Annie opened a printed email. I sent this to internal compliance. The message was brief and cautious. She had written
She
that
was
she might be
punished for asking.
misunderstanding the records, but several transfer files appeared inconsistent with their approval forms. She asked whether someone should review them before the
I never
boxes
heard about
were
it.
archived.
I
The
should
reply
have.
came from an assistant in
You
records.
absolutely should
Please
have.
direct questions through your assigned supervisor.
I promise I
Interns
will
are
make
not
this right.
authorized to review
Stop.
financial matters. The next page
need
was
to
a
begin
note
by
from Mr.
finding out
Dalton
what
ending her
happened.
placement early due to poor judgment and
Look,
difficulty respecting
I understand this
professional
is
boundaries.
difficult, but we
Ethan
have to
held
go
the
through
paper for a
every
long
single one of
moment.
these folders
You
before.
were punished for asking. Annie shrugged.
They
but her
wasted
eyes
no
lowered.
time.
Mr. Dalton told me I should
need
be
to call your
grateful I
father
got through
right
the
now.
door at all. He said girls like me didn't get many chances in companies like yours. Ethan swallowed, and I never heard about it. No, I should have. Yes, she said, not cruelly. You should have. The answer hurt more than comfort would have. He nodded slowly. If I get the chance to make this right, don't start with promises, Annie said.
They really went
Start
for the
with finding
dramatic
out what
angle on
happened.
that picture,
Before
huh?
Ethan could respond, her phone buzzed on the table. She glanced at the screen and frowned. What is it? Someone sent me a link. She opened it. A local business news site filled the screen. At the top was a photograph of Ethan leaving Evelyn's office the night before, with Annie and Marcus behind him. The headline read, Disgraced financier
I need to get ready
recruits
for the
former intern
attorney.
in last. Ditch mansion fight. Annie scrolled in silence. The
Sarah,
article claimed
you are
Ethan
not
was manipulating
fine.
a young former
I
employee
knew they might say things.
to create false accusations against his former fiancée.
If
and
I
brother.
fall apart
It
whenever
suggested
people get
Annie had
loud,
retained
they will not
confidential
need to
company
prove
documents
anything.
after her internship ended and might be pursuing a financial reward.
You should
Ethan
not
felt
have
his
to carry
stomach
this.
turn. They moved fast.
They
Annie
counted
tried to
on me
laugh.
being too young and too
At least they
unimportant
used
to
a
be
decent
heard.
picture. Her phone buzzed again.
I am
then
not
again.
carrying the truth because I
Messages
owe
appeared
you,
beneath the article.
but because their enemies were
Strangers
wrong
calling her
about
a
me.
thief. A liar. A girl looking for a payout. One comment said she should be grateful a company like Whitmore had let her inside at all. Another used
What
a word
happened?
Ethan had never permitted in his offices and now saw directed at
Their
her
enemies
because
have
she had
started
tried to
coming
save his
after her.
name. Annie turned the phone face down. I need to get ready for Evelyn, she said. Annie, I'm Fina. No, you're not. Her jaw tightened. I knew they might say things.
Where are you headed?
Knowing does not make
To
it
the
harmless.
site.
She
Time to
stood
get
and
back to
began
work.
placing the papers back in order. If I fall apart every time people who want me quiet get loud,
I am
they
going
won't
to the
need prove
garage
anything.
first,
Ethan
then the
rose from
attorney's office
table.
tonight,
You should not
and
have
after
to
that,
carry
wherever
this.
the evidence
She
takes them.
finally looked at him. Her eyes were wet, but her voice remained steady. They already counted on me being too young, too black, and too unimportant for anyone to listen. I'm not carrying this because I owe you, Mr. Whitmore. I'm carrying it because they were wrong. The back door opened, and Marcus stepped inside, holding his taxi keys. He took one look at Annie's face, and then at the dark phone on the table. What happened? Ethan answered before she could. They've started coming after her. Marcus stood very still. Annie slid the folders into her canvas bag. Then we must be getting close to something they don't want found. Ethan watched her fasten the bag. The same bag she had carried onto his steps the day before. He had thought she arrived to rescue a desperate man. Now he understood the cost of what she had chosen to do. He reached for his work jacket. Where are you going? Marcus asked. To Calvin's, then to Evelyn's office tonight. Ethan looked at Annie. And after that, wherever the evidence takes us. Outside, morning light spread over the garage roof. Somewhere across town, Vanessa and Lucas were trying to make Annie look small enough to dismiss. For the first time since losing his company, Ethan felt something stronger than shame. They had taken enough from him. They would not take her voice too. Marcus did not say anything else about the article. He walked to the kitchen table, placed his keys beside Annie's folders, and read the headline over her
Irresponsible
shoulder.
behavior,
The
suspension.
longer he read, the quieter he became.
Well, at least the picture
They
is
used my
flattering,
picture
right?
too, Annie said, trying to make her voice
Don't
light.
pretend.
Don't
I guess
pretend.
we're famous now. Marcus
I am
touched her
not
shoulder.
pretending.
You don't have to pretend with me. I'm not pretending.
I am
She
so
closed the
angry right
laptop.
now.
I'm angry.
That anger
Good,
can keep
he
a
said.
person
Anger
standing.
can keep you standing. Just don't let it decide where you
Anger
walk.
must not
Ethan
decide
heard
the
warning
path
meant for
forward.
all of them. He went to Calvin's garage that morning and worked until his shirt clung to his back. He swept the service bay, hauled used tires to the storage rack, and learned how to loosen rusted lug nuts without bruising his knuckles. Calvin noticed he was quieter than the day before, but did not ask questions.
second
until
time
Ethan
you've dropped
the
that.
wrench for the second time.
Why don't you take a
Your
break?
hands are here, Calvin said. But the rest
Your
of you
hands
is
are
fighting
present, but the
somewhere
rest
else.
of you is fighting
Ethan bent
elsewhere.
to pick up the wrench.
People online
People
are attacking the
Annie
young woman
online
because she helped me.
Calvin wiped grease from his fingers with a rag.
People who cannot defeat the truth usually begin by dirtying the person carrying it.
Ethan looked toward the garage entrance. Marcus's taxi should have been pulling in for a tire check before his afternoon shift. It was already past 10. A car horn sounded outside.
My father
followed by
needs
a
help!
sharp slam of a door.
What is it? What happened out
Annie
there?
hurried into the garage, her face pale. Dad
What
needs
happened
help.
here, Miles? Are you
Ethan
hurt?
ran out with
Looks like a
Calvin
bat.
behind him.
Went
Marcus
straight through the
stood beside
laminate.
his
They
taxi
finally
in the
did it.
gravel lot.
They finally got to the
windshield
car.
had been shattered inward.
The whole
the
thing is
driver's
totaled.
side mirror hung by its wires, and broken glass
What does the
covered
note
seat
say?
where Marcus spent
It's a
10
warning.
hours a day earning enough to keep the lights on in his house. A folded piece of paper had been pushed beneath one of the windshield wipers. Marcus did not touch it. Ethan lifted the note carefully by one corner.
But are you all
Drivers
right?
should keep their eyes
I was
on the
afraid
road,
someone might have been
not on
waiting
their
for you.
passengers.
I'm fine, baby.
Annie covered her mouth.
They weren't
Dad,
waiting this time.
I'm all right, Marcus said.
You recorded
They
this
could
whole
have been
thing.
waiting for you.
I was
They
scared.
weren't. This time,
I didn't know what else
Ethan
to do.
said.
Well,
Marcus
now it's
turned toward
evidence.
him. The calm expression he usually wore had hardened. Then I suppose we know the recording matters. Ethan looked at the taxi, at the worn steering wheel, the faded
Please,
company
let me pay
permit
for the
taped
windshield.
inside
I
the
insist.
glass. The small
No, we're
family
good.
photo clipped
We all
above
have
the
bad
dashboard.
days. Don't you worry about
To
it.
Vanessa and Lucas, it had been only a cab. To Marcus, it was rent, groceries, Annie's applications, every long night he had worked after losing his wife.
Is this
I'll
enough
pay
to
for the
begin repairing the windshield?
Ethan said.
It's enough for now.
Marcus shook his head.
I'll cover the rest.
No. Yes. You are working in this garage.
I know you
for
didn't
day
have to say
wages.
anything back
I need
there.
every dollar.
You
Ethan
gave us the
walked to
truth when
small
silence
locker
would have been a
Calvin had
whole
given
lot
him
safer.
And took out the envelope containing his pay.
While we're waiting
He
for
set it
them,
in Calvin's hand.
is there anything I can help
Is
with?
this enough to start? Calvin looked at Marcus, then at Ethan. It
This is
starts.
plenty to get
I'll cover
started.
the rest
Don't
until
you
the
worry about the
insurance sorts
rest. We'll
itself
sort
out.
it out with the insurance.
Marcus opened his mouth
Thank you,
to
I
object,
appreciate that.
But Ethan spoke first. You gave me the truth when keeping
Look, I don't know
quiet
what
would
you
have been
expect me to
safer.
do. You have
Let
to
do
help
one
me.
useful thing while we
I
wait
put
for
my
justice
life
to
on the
catch
line
up.
to tell them the truth.
Marcus
You
looked
can't
away
abandon
toward
me
the
now.
broken taxi. After a moment, he nodded. All right. But this does not make me your employee. For the first time that day, Ethan
Helping out
almost
doesn't make
smiled.
me anyone's
I'm not
employee.
in a position to hire anyone. His phone vibrated in his pocket. The message displayed only an address and a time, followed by a name he had not seen on his screen since the company collapsed. Lucas, noon, Carolina Ridge Club. Come alone if you want this to end. Ethan showed the message to Marcus and Annie. Don't go, Annie said immediately.
You
I
can't
have to
actually
know
be
what he
considering
wants.
this. Look what they
We
did
know
to the
what he
car.
wants,
I have to
she
go,
said.
Elena.
He
They
wants
said if
you
I don't
scared
show
or
up.
silent.
But it's a
Ethan
trap.
looked at the broken
Please don't
windshield.
go.
Then I need to hear how much he thinks my silence costs.
I need to hear how
Evelyn
much my
objected
silence
when
is
he called
worth.
her, but after a long pause, she told him not to carry documents.
Do
to
not carry
accept anything,
documents.
and to
Do
keep
not
his
accept
phone recording
anything.
in his
Keep
jacket
your phone
pocket
recording
state
if
law
legally
permitted
allowed.
him as a participant in the conversation. And
Facing
Ethan,
your
she
brother
added,
must
do
not be
confuse
confused
facing him
with trusting yourself around him.
The Carolina Ridge Club had once been a place where Ethan knew every server by name.
If you'll just follow
At the
me, sir.
front desk,
The private
a
room is
young
down this
attendant
hall.
recognized him, hesitated, then led him to a private room overlooking the golf course. Lucas was waiting with 2 glasses of bourbon. He looked healthy, rested, and expensive.
You look terrible,
You've
by the
aged,
way.
Lucas
Rough
said.
few years.
Ethan remained standing.
At least I earned it.
You've had less to worry about. Lucas sighed, still dramatic. Sit down.
Sit down.
I'm fine where I am. Lucas slid a folder across the table, then Reed standing up. Your debts disappear. You receive a condo in South Park. Enough money to live comfortably. And no one pursues the remaining claims
I read the
against you.
offer.
Ethan
What
did
does it
not
demand
touch
in
the
return?
folder.
It demands
In
your
exchange
loyalty.
for what? You issue a statement saying Annie Brooks removed files during her internship.
We need a public
and approached
statement
you with
blaming the
fabricated
intern for the
accusations.
stolen files and
Her
the
father
fabricated
altered the recording
accusations.
After learning about
It's
your
the
financial
cleanest solution for the
situation.
firm.
For a moment,
He clearly
Ethan could
doctored
only
the
look at his
recording.
brother. Lucas
Once
took
he
a sip
learned
of
about the
bourbon.
man's finances, he
They
saw
are
an
nobody,
opportunity and took
Ethan.
it.
A cab driver and a girl in a
A cab
borrowed
driver
blazer.
and a girl in a
You
borrowed
don't throw away
blazer
the
are
rest of
simply
your life for
unworthy
people
of the
the world will forget
sacrifice.
in a week. Ethan thought of Annie at the kitchen table.
You think
refusing
I don't
to turn her
understand
phone
what's
back
at
over.
stake. But this
He
isn't
thought
just
of
about the
Marcus
money,
standing
it's
in
about
broken
what's
glass
right.
beside the car
We
that
can't
fed
let
his
them get
family.
away with it.
That is why you could steal everything.
If you
and
leave
still
without
remain
signing,
poor.
the
Ethan
young
said,
woman and her
"You
father
never
may
learn
not
what a
remain
person is
untouched.
worth." Lucas's polite expression thinned. You
If his
walk out
brother
without
threatens them
signing.
again, Those
And I can't
exact
promise
words
that
will be
girl or her
repeated in
father
every
stays
room
untouched.
he has been excluded
Ethan leaned
from.
forward, threaten them again, and I will repeat those words in every room you are trying to keep me out of. He took the folder, not to sign it, but to carry the offer away as one more piece of Lucas's contempt. That evening, Annie and Marcus were waiting behind the garage when Ethan returned. Annie saw the folder in his hand and went still. You took his deal? Ethan set an old metal bucket on the concrete, dropped the papers into it and struck a match. Flames curled through
I will
the first
not
page,
let fear be used
then
against
climbed over
them.
Lucas's promise of comfort. I already let them use my trust against me, Ethan said. I won't let them use my fear against you. Marcus watched the paper turn to ash.
We will finish this.
Annie's eyes filled, but she gave a firm nod. Then we finish this.
All right.
Ethan looked toward the garage,
finish it.
where Calvin had covered the shattered taxi windshield with plastic until the new glass arrived. Yes, he said, we finish it. The ashes from Lucas's offer were still warm in the metal bucket when Evelyn called the next morning. I need the original loan correspondence.
We need the original loan correspondence, personal letters, and any records showing private access to your home office.
If she delivered
have to
those
establish
documents
a pattern.
privately, we need to establish the pattern.
Most of the evidence is
Most
still
of it is
inside
still
the
at
grand estate I nearly
Do
lost.
not go alone. Ethan glanced across Marcus's kitchen. Annie was sorting application forms beside a mug of coffee, her canvas bag hanging from the back of her chair.
Thank you, truly, I appreciate it.
Marcus wanted to drive
I
them,
wish I could wait, but
Calvin had
the meter's
finished
running now that
replacing
she's
the taxi
fixed.
windshield,
You take care of her.
and Marcus needed to return to work.
Keep that
Before
phone
handing
charged,
Ethan
all
the
right?
keys to his old
And you
pickup truck,
leave, you hear
he
me?
said,
You leave
"Keep
if
your
anything
phone
feels
charged.
wrong.
And if anything feels wrong, leave the papers
You knew
and
the
walk
risks
out."
when you stayed this
Ethan
long,
nodded.
son.
I've spent enough time
Don't
staying
let
in
pride
rooms
cost
after
you
I should have
everything
left.
now.
Whitmore Estate looked different when they arrived. The sale sign was gone, but the patch of disturbed soil remained beside the drive. The house no longer looked like something waiting to be sold. It looked like a witness holding its breath. Inside, Annie removed her coat.
I
and
need to
followed
check
Ethan
the
through
upstairs study
entrance
for
hall.
documents.
I need
The
documents.
library
from the
might
study
have
upstairs,
boxes.
he said.
Remember, this
There
is
may be
evidence,
boxes
so
in the
be careful.
library, too. She stopped near the music room. The piano stood beneath the tall window, its closed lid coated with dust. On the mantel above it, one framed photograph remained face
Is this the
down.
woman who betrayed
Annie
you?
looked toward Ethan. Is that her? He did not need to ask whom she meant. He crossed the room and turned the frame over. In the photograph, Vanessa stood beside him on the front lawn, her left hand on his chest, her engagement ring catching the summer light. Ethan looked at the picture only briefly before setting it face down again. She told
You
me
once said this house felt like a
where
place to
people
grow
could
old together.
he said. Annie's voice
Were
was
you
quiet.
happy here, though?
Were you happy here? I was certain.
I was certain.
He looked around the silent
Absolutely
room.
certain.
I confused that with happy.
But I can't
They
say
worked
I'm
without
happy
speaking
about
for
any of
several
this.
minutes. Ethan carried a file box from the upstairs study while Annie checked the labels against Evelyn's list. They found old loan folders, handwritten notes from Vanessa, dinner invitations showing dates when she had met Ethan privately, and a folder containing sketches for a wedding reception on the back lawn. Ethan held that folder too long. Annie reached for it. You don't have to look through everything today. If it matters, I do. The doorbell rang. Both of them froze. Ethan set the folder on the console table. Stay here. No. Annie, you promised my father you wouldn't be alone. He did not argue.
You promised
Together
my
they
father
walked to
you
the
wouldn't
front
be
door.
alone.
Vanessa Reed stood on the porch. She wore the cream-colored
David,
coat from the taxi video.
I didn't
Her
expect
hair
to
was
see you.
pulled back neatly,
I'm sure you
and
didn't.
her makeup could not quite
We
conceal
have
the
nothing to
tiredness
discuss.
around her eyes. For one disorienting
I
second,
love this old
Ethan
house.
saw the woman
It
who
has
used
so
to arrive
much
with
character.
wine and flowers. The woman who kissed him in that
And look,
doorway
I brought the
before
Syrah
telling
you
him
like.
she loved the
What do
smell
you
of old
want? Why are
houses.
you here?
Ethan, she said.
We
He
need to
held
talk.
the door partly closed.
Alone.
Why are you here? Her gaze shifted past him and
I already
landed on
told you
Annie.
there's nothing to discuss.
Something cool
Very
entered
well.
her expression, then disappeared.
I suppose he felt
I
the
was
same
hoping
way
we
when
could
your
speak
brother came to see
privately.
you yesterday.
That is no longer an option.
You already know my
Vanessa
answer.
drew a slow breath.
He's not avoiding you,
Lucas came to
darling.
see
He's
you
just
yesterday.
frightened.
You already know the answer I gave him.
We need to be
He is
understanding.
frightened.
Don't
Frightened
you
men
see?
say
We were
ugly
both
things. Her
manipulated.
voice softened. He manipulated
They made
both
me
of us,
believe the hidden
Ethan.
money was real.
He made me believe you had hidden money.
I was just getting into the...
She
that
was
you
in
were
the
going to
taxi.
leave everyone else carrying the damage. Annie moved slightly closer, but Ethan kept his eyes on Vanessa.
This was a mistake.
You were in the taxi.
Confusion and
Vanessa's
anger
lips
were
parted,
used against me, and I know it looks
then
bad, but
closed again.
please.
You saw
I just want to
that.
explain.
I heard enough.
Please, look
What
at
you
me.
saw was a mistake.
I know I
She
hurt
stepped
you, but
toward
what
him.
I said
was
then, how I
confused,
felt about us,
angry.
it was real.
Lucas knew exactly how
Don't
to use
deny that.
But what I felt for you was real. Ethan wanted those words to mean something. That was the humiliating truth. After the video, after the
It's all
death
right.
and the empty rooms,
Just let me help you
some
through
buried
this,
part
like I
of him
always
still
do.
wanted her to explain away the unbearable. Vanessa seemed to recognize it.
I
She
can
reached
help
for
if
his
you give
arm,
me the recording.
touching the sleeve of his coat the way
Consider
she had when
this
she wanted him to
protection from
calm
further
down.
destruction.
I can help you, she whispered.
You
Give me
didn't
the
ask if I had
recording.
slept,
Let me take
or
it to people
eaten,
who can separate
or if I
Lucas
survived
from
the
this
cold.
before he destroys what little you
only
have
about
left.
the recording.
Ethan looked down at her hand.
She asked
You
only
didn't
what
ask
he
whether
still
I
had
slept,
against her.
he said. You didn't ask whether I can pay for food or keep this house warm. You came here
You
and
stole
asked for the
company
recording.
documents and you
Her fingers
endangered
slipped
my
from the
father.
sleeve. The woman I loved
Do you
would have asked what
understand
she
the
did to
trouble
me,
you are
Ethan
in?
continued. You only asked what I still have against
The young
you.
woman can be
Vanessa's
charged,
face
and her
changed.
taxi driver
The
father
warmth
could lose
vanished
more
so
than his
quickly that
cab.
Annie drew in a breath. You think this girl is saving
The
you?
recording was made
Vanessa
in a
asked.
taxi with
She took
posted
documents
safety
from a company
notices.
archive.
And
She
the
can be
attorney
charged.
already
Her
has
father
the original
recorded
file.
a private conversation and held it for 2 years.
Tell me,
He can lose
once
more
his
than
company's
cab.
back on its
Annie
feet,
stepped
do you
forward.
honestly believe he'll still remember your
The recording
name?
was made in a taxi with posted safety notices.
Powerful men are generous
Evelyn
when
already has
guilty,
the original
then
file.
return to rooms
Vanessa
where girls
studied
like
her
the
with
young
open
woman
contempt.
only serve
you
coffee.
Really think he will remember you once he has his company back? Men like Ethan are generous when
She
they
was the
feel
only
guilty.
person in the company who saw
Then
what
they
was being
return to
done.
rooms where girls like you are invited only to serve coffee.
I'd be
Ethan
careful
felt
calling her
Annie stiffen
insignificant.
beside him. She was the only person in that company who saw what you were doing, he said. You should be more careful
You cannot
about
protect the
calling
young
her
woman,
insignificant.
your father, or even
Vanessa gave a
yourself.
small, cold
I will
laugh.
protect them.
You cannot protect her. You cannot protect her father.
Give up the
You
recording,
could not even protect
or
yourself.
someone will be hurt.
She stepped down from the porch and turned back once. Give up the recording,
This time,
Ethan.
he cannot blame it on a signature.
Otherwise, someone will be hurt. And this time, you won't be able to blame it on a signature. Her car pulled away from the drive a minute later.
She threatened
leaving
us.
Ethan and Annie
We can't
standing
just
in the
stay
open
here.
doorway. Annie's voice was low. Was that a threat? Ethan watched the
Was that a
taillights
threat?
disappear beyond the oaks. Yes. Then we call Evelyn.
It was.
He looked at the file boxes inside the hall and the face-down photograph in the music room. Vanessa had come expecting the man who once loved her to surrender. Instead, she had confirmed what the video could not fully show. The scheme was not over, and she was still willing to hurt anyone between her and the truth.
She was
Ethan
here,
locked the door,
the elegant
took out his
woman.
phone and called
She
Evelyn.
demanded the
When she
recording.
Is the
answered,
recording
he said,
secure? Do not
"Vanessa
worry,
just
I will
came to the
handle
estate."
this.
When he
She
refused,
asked for the
the
recording.
elegant woman threatened the
And when
young
I
woman and
refused,
her father.
She threatened
Bring
Annie
everything
and
collected
Marcus.
immediately.
Evelyn's reply was immediate. Bring me everything you collected. And tell Marcus
Your
not
father
to work
should
alone
not work
tonight.
alone tonight.
Ethan turned toward Annie. She had already taken out her phone, but Marcus did not answer. Annie called again. The phone rang
Hey, Dad,
until it
it's
went to
urgent.
voicemail. Dad,
We have the
call me
files, but we
back
ran
as
into
soon as you
trouble.
hear
Call me
this,
back immediately.
she said.
Please,
Her
you have
voice
to
was
believe me.
steady
We
for the
didn't do
first few
this.
words,
They're coming. I know they
then
are.
tightened.
We just need a little
Please.
more time to get
Ethan
away.
was already gathering the file boxes.
We need to check the
We'll
garage.
drive to the garage
He might have left
first.
his phone in the taxi.
He may have left his phone in the car.
I'm warning
Evelyn
you, do
remained
not
on
tamper
speaker.
with any
Do not
evidence.
separate.
Do not separate.
If
You
Marcus
must
is
call
not
before
there,
going anywhere
call
else.
me
I told
before
him
you
we're
go
on our way,
anywhere
but
else.
he's threatening legal
They
action
carried
if
the
we don't
boxes to
finalize
Marcus's
today.
pickup and left Whitmore Estate with the doors locked behind them. Annie kept calling as Ethan drove. Each unanswered ring seemed louder inside the cab. When they reached Calvin's garage, the service bay was closing.
It just
for the
stopped.
evening.
I don't know what happened. The brakes failed.
Calvin stepped
All right,
outside
easy now.
when he saw
Pop the hood,
Ethan's
let's take a
face.
look.
Where's Marcus?
Where is
Ethan
my
asked.
father?
Calvin frowned.
He picked up his taxi
He picked
about
up
an
his
hour
taxi
earlier
about an
for
hour
one
ago.
last airport run.
Said he had one last airport run before
My
turning in.
father is not
Did he say
answering.
where he was going after that? No. Why? Annie held up her phone. He isn't answering. Calvin's
Tell legal I need
expression
them to block
changed.
the injunction immediately.
He
We
reached
can't afford
into his
another delay.
coveralls for his own
Affirmative.
phone.
Dispatch. Send the overflow
I'll
to the
call
south lot.
dispatch. He sometimes takes overflow rides.
The
through a
last
local
recorded
company.
fare ended near
Ethan
Westinghouse
called Evelyn
Boulevard
again
with
while
no
Annie
activity
paced
after
near the
that.
garage door. Less than 2 minutes later, Calvin lowered
It's
his
near the
phone
warehouse
slowly.
district.
His last recorded fare ended near Westinghouse
We're calling the
Boulevard.
police.
He said, no activity after that. Annie stopped walking. That's near the warehouse district. We're calling
been
the
hurt
police,
bad, honey.
Ethan said. Before he could
Is your
dial,
father alive?
Annie's phone rang. The number
He's
was
alive!
unfamiliar. She
It's his
answered at once.
daughter!
Hello?
They are coming
A woman spoke
immediately.
on the other end. Annie listened, then gripped the side of Calvin's workbench.
A delivery
Is he
driver found the
alive?
taxi by the
Ethan
roadside,
stepped
and my
toward her.
father has been
Yes,
taken to
Annie
Carolina's
whispered.
Medical Center.
Yes, I'm his daughter. We're coming.
Let me drive.
She ended the
I
call
said I've got
and
it.
looked at Ethan
Keys,
as though
now.
she needed him to understand before she could say the words. A delivery driver found his taxi by the side of the road. Dad's at Carolina's Medical Center. Calvin grabbed his keys. I'll drive. No, Ethan said. I will.
We're taking her right
Annie
back
did
to the
not
exam
cry
room now.
during the drive. She
Is Dr.
sat
Evans
rigid in the
available tonight?
passenger seat,
He is in surgery
holding
right
her
now,
phone
but
with
Dr.
both
Kim is on the
hands.
way.
Ethan wanted to tell her Marcus would be fine.
You have a head wound
but
requiring
promises made
stitches,
without knowledge had nearly
2
ruined his
fractured
life.
ribs,
He
and a
kept one
concussion.
hand on the wheel and drove as quickly as traffic allowed. At the
Scans
emergency
show
department,
no bleeding in the brain,
a nurse
and
led
that the
Annie
injured
to a
father is
consultation
awake,
room.
but must be monitored
Ethan
overnight.
stayed beside her until a doctor came in.
Can I see him?
Mr.
Is he
Brooks
okay?
has a head wound requiring stitches and 2
I'm so
fractured
sorry.
ribs, the doctor said.
These
He
are
has a
his
concussion,
belongings.
but his scans do not show bleeding
The
in the
attack
brain.
is my fault.
He's awake now, although we need to monitor him overnight. Annie covered her mouth and bent
I
forward.
brought the recording forward.
The
I
breath she
pushed
had
my
been
father
holding
to
came out as a
speak.
sob. Can I see him?
The people who
In a
hurt
few
him are
minutes.
responsible.
The nurse handed her a clear bag.
I will
containing
understand if you
Marcus's
stop now
belongings.
and will never ask your family
His
to risk
wallet.
anything else.
Keys
I refuse to
A
let the
torn work
attackers
jacket.
escape.
and his shoes.
We found this empty protective
One
case in the
lace was still
taxi.
tied.
Where is
other
the
had been
recording?
pulled loose.
They
Annie
must have
pressed
taken the
bag
copy.
against
It's
her
gone.
chest. Ethan stood
So they
beside her,
threatened you,
unable to look
specifically
away from
mentioning
the
the
blood on collar of
internship and
Marcus's
staying
jacket.
grateful.
This is my fault, Annie said. No.
They
brought
just
the
jumped him out of
recording to
nowhere.
you.
I swear he didn't do
I kept
anything. They
pushing
attacked
him to
first.
speak.
Listen very
The people
carefully.
who heard
Do
him
not
did
discuss
this.
the recording with
He was
anyone
safe
except the
before I
police or
asked
your
him to be
counsel.
brave.
The
Ethan
stolen
crouched in front
copy
of
was
her
not the
chair.
only evidence,
Annie,
because preserved
listen to
material
me.
is already
I
secured.
will understand if you stop now. I will never ask you or your father to risk anything else for me. She looked at him through tears. Then they get away with it. I don't know what happens next. I only know your father matters more than my house or my company. A police officer approached them with a notepad. He had already spoken
Looks
to
like
the
I'll need
driver
another
who found
repair
Marcus.
job.
Mr. Whitmore, he asked.
Don't joke
Mr.
like that,
Brooks had an
Daddy.
empty
You
protective case in
scared
the
me.
taxi. Do you know
I'm
what may
so
have been
sorry,
taken?
Dad.
Hey, look
Ethan
at me.
looked
This
at
isn't
Annie.
on you.
The recording.
They
she
attacked
said.
me because of what I heard,
He
not
must
because
have
of
been
anything
bringing a
you
copy
did.
to our attorney.
The jacket in the bag.
officer wrote it
Search
down.
the inside
Mr.
pocket
Brooks
now.
told the responding officer 2 men forced his car off the road. One of them said something about his daughter staying grateful for an internship. Annie closed her eyes. Ethan called Evelyn. When he explained, her voice grew quiet.
The key
"Do not
belongs to
discuss the
locker number
recording further with
27 at the
anyone
taxi
except
office."
The police officer and me, she said.
What is
I'm coming to the
inside?
hospital now. The copy in Marcus's
The original
car may
memory
be gone,
card, trip
but I have the
receipt,
preserved
dispatch
material
record,
he already provided
photograph
for
of the
review.
taxi camera
It
notice,
wasn't the
and a
original?
next morning personal
Ethan
recording.
asked.
You
I never
kept
let
all
a
that
key witness
evidence?
travel with the
I
only
thought
copy of
silence
evidence.
protected you.
20 minutes later,
But it
Annie was
protected the
allowed into
criminals
Marcus's
instead.
room.
They said
Ethan
I was
remained
lucky to be
outside
alive.
until she returned.
The last thing I recall is
and
the
beckoned him
intersection.
in.
It's crucial you
Marcus
rest.
lay propped
We have the
against
key,
white
we'll handle the
pillows.
rest.
A bandage along
The preserved
his temple.
evidence, your
His face was
documents, and the
bruised,
recent threat are
and every
enough to
breath seemed to
contact
cost
federal
him effort.
investigators tonight.
Still, when he saw Ethan,
The board has been notified
he
that
tried
the
to
evidence
smile.
of fraud
Looks like
affects
Calvin
the
has
asset
another repair
transfers.
job, he murmured.
What does that
Then he
mean
moved
for
to
the
bed.
ownership?
Dad, don't joke.
They've scheduled an
If I stop
emergency
joking,
hearing
you'll
for the
know I'm
morning.
in real trouble. Her
The
tears
conspirators,
returned. I'm
they're
sorry.
both expected to be there.
Marcus's expression softened. No,
I cannot
none of
leave
that.
you here.
They attacked you
You
because
can
of me.
and you will
They
go.
attacked me because
Because
they're
the
afraid of what I
powerful
heard.
counted on us being
He
afraid.
shifted and winced.
Do not help
My
the
jacket.
powerful be right.
Did they bring it?
You
Annie
must face
lifted
the
clear
hearing
bag.
instead of
It's
fear.
here. Inside pocket. She reached into the torn jacket and found a small brass key
The attack
attached
on
to
the
a
injured
red
father
plastic
will not
tag.
become another
Marcus
debt I
looked at
walk away
Ethan.
from.
Lock her at the taxi office.
Go tell the truth.
Number 27. What's
that won't
inside?
be payment enough.
Ethan asked. The original memory card. Trip receipt from Vanessa's credit card. Dispatch record. Photograph of the camera notice inside the car. He paused to catch his breath. And a recording I made the next morning, before your company went under. I said everything I remembered while it was fresh. Annie held the key tightly. You kept all that? I kept telling myself I was protecting you by staying quiet. Marcus turned his eyes toward her. Turns out silence was protecting them. Evelyn arrived while Marcus was still awake. She listened, then placed a hand on the bedrail. With what you preserved, Annie's documents and the threat Vanessa made today, I can contact federal investigators tonight. The company's board has already been notified that evidence of fraud may affect current ownership and pending asset transfers. Ethan stared at her.
We have the
What
court
does that
order.
mean? It means they have scheduled an emergency hearing tomorrow.
Open the door, we're late.
Lucas and Vanessa will be there. Annie looked at her father.
All right, easy now, almost there.
Oh, Daddy.
Marcus reached for her hand.
Are you okay?
You can.
I'm fine, sweetheart. Just a little banged up.
They counted on me being
You shouldn't
nobody,
be here, Dad.
and
You need
being
rest.
afraid.
I signed the
Don't
papers
help
for the
them be
morning,
right.
baby. I'm
Ethan
going back
reached into his
afterward.
pocket and felt the folded remains of the sale flyer he had
The
carried
original
since
memory
Annie
card has
first
been
came to the
secured and
mansion.
forensic metadata
Marcus, he
verified
said,
before
"I
dawn,
will not
while the
let what
dispatch
happened to
record
you
and
become
payment
another
receipt
debt I
match the
walk
route
away
and
from."
time. The
Marcus
board
closed
knows
his
it will
eyes
hear
briefly.
evidence about ownership
Then go
fraud,
tell the truth.
forged guarantees, and
That's payment
coercion over
enough.
the estate.
Outside the
Do
hospital
not let your
room,
brother provoke you.
Annie found a paper napkin beside
What do you
a
have to
vending
say,
machine
sir?
and borrowed Ethan's
Are the
pen.
allegations true?
Her hand shook. as
When
she
did you
wrote
find
4
out about the
words.
fraud?
Is
Then
it true
folded
you
the
filed for
napkin
bankruptcy?
and pressed it into his palm.
What about the fraud
Let them hear
accusations,
everything.
Mr. Johnson?
Ethan placed
Who
it
is this
inside
young
his
woman
jacket
and what does
pocket.
she know?
The next morning, he would return to the building that still carried his name. This time, he would not enter alone. Ethan had not worn a suit since the last hearing where attorneys had advised him to stop fighting. The charcoal jacket hanging in the back of Marcus's guest room was the only one he had kept, not because it was expensive, but because his father had chosen it with him before Ethan's first major investor meeting. He dressed before sunrise. The sleeves felt tighter than he remembered. When he reached into the inside pocket, his fingers touched the folded paper napkin Annie had given him at the hospital. Let them hear everything. In the Brooks kitchen, Annie stood beside the table wearing a navy blazer and a plain white blouse. Ethan recognized the blazer. It was the one she had worn during her internship orientation. She was trying to secure an earring with hands that would not
You don't
stop
have to wear it
trembling.
today.
You don't have to wear that today.
You don't have to wear
he
it
said.
today.
She managed a small smile.
The Blazer should
I
see
thought
the
it should
building
see the
again.
building again. Before Ethan could answer, headlights across the kitchen window. Evelyn's sedan stopped outside. A medical transport van pulled in behind it. Annie rushed to the porch as 2 attendants lowered Marcus in a wheelchair. His
Are you
temple
okay?
was bandaged.
How are
and
you
his coat
feeling?
rested loosely
Better
over
now
his
that you're here,
shoulders.
baby.
His face tightened
have him
each
inside
time
in
the
just a
chair
moment.
moved across the uneven walkway. But when Annie reached him,
We
he
should
held
really
up one
wait,
hand.
Dad. You're hurt.
Before you start,
I know what I'm
signed
doing.
the discharge
We're
papers
fine.
for the morning. I'm going back after this. You should be in
You
bed.
should be in bed.
I've been sitting in a taxi for 20 years.
After 20 years sitting in a taxi, I
in
can
a
sit
chair
here for another hour.
She bent and hugged him carefully, avoiding his ribs. Evelyn stepped out of her car with a leather case in one hand. The original memory card is secured. My forensic
Thank you
consultant
for waiting.
verified the metadata before dawn.
I've
The
reviewed the
dispatch record and
situation,
payment receipt
and we
match
need
the
to
route
discuss
and
the
time
next
on the
steps
recording.
immediately.
Ethan looked
The
at her.
original memory card is secure,
And the
and a
board?
forensic
They know they are
consultant
about to hear
verified the
evidence
metadata
related to
before
ownership
dawn.
fraud, forged guarantees, and attempted coercion.
The dispatch
over the
record
estate.
and the payment
They do not
receipt
yet know
corroborate
everything
the
on that
route and the
recording.
timestamp
Evelyn
on the
fixed her gaze
recording.
on him. Do not let Lucas provoke you into speaking
What about the
before it is
board?
time.
They know they are
Ethan
about to hear
glanced at
ownership
Marcus
fraud,
and Annie.
forged guarantees, and coercion
I'm not
over
the
the
most
estate,
important
but they
voice
do
in the
not
room
yet know
today.
everything on the
No,
recording.
Evelyn
Don't
said.
let your brother
You're
provoke
learning.
you into speaking too
Whitmore
soon.
Capital Technologies rose above
I am
uptown
not the
Charlotte
most
in blue
important
glass
voice
and
in the room
steel,
today.
Unchanged from the day Ethan had been escorted out through a side entrance. His name still appeared above the lobby wall in silver letters. He once considered that sign proof that he had built something
Mr.
permanent.
Davies,
Now it
are the
seems almost
allegations
cruel.
true?
Outside the building,
How much did you know about
reporters
this,
stood
sir?
behind metal
When will you be
barriers.
releasing a statement regarding
As
the
soon
merger?
as Ethan stepped out of Evelyn's car, cameras turned toward him. Mr. Whitmore, are you challenging the bankruptcy settlement? Are you accusing your brother of fraud?
Attorney Miller,
Who was
confirming
the
our
young woman
appointment.
with you?
I'm the
Ethan
witness,
kept
Miss
walking.
Johnson.
Annie stayed beside Marcus's chair while Evelyn led them through the entrance.
I'm sorry, but
The
your
lobby
name has been
smelled of
removed
polished
pending an
stone and
objection.
coffee from
On
the
what
cafe.
basis? We
Ethan had
require
once
immediate
approved
disclosure
during
of
the
the grounds
renovation.
for this removal.
Employees near the
simple
security
fact is this
turnstiles
whistleblower
stopped
was
to
merely a
watch.
minor
Some
intern.
recognized
Her
him and
removal of
looked
company
away.
records was
Others
entirely
openly
improper,
stared.
rendering these
At the
documents highly
registration
questionable.
table outside the
The
main
young
hearing
woman
room,
cannot
a woman in a
participate
gray
until
suit checked
admissibility is
Evelyn's name and
decided.
Ethan's, then hesitated when Annie stepped forward. Annie
The evidence
Brooks,
was gathered
Annie
during
said,
assigned duties,
witness for Miss
lawfully
Carter.
preserved and
the woman
reviewed.
consulted her tablet.
She is just
I'm
a
sorry.
reckless
Your name
former
has been
intern.
removed pending an objection from
As we
counsel.
discussed, the
Evelyn's
acquisition will
expression
proceed
sharpened.
exactly as planned.
On what basis?
We appreciate your
A tall
cooperation in
attorney
making this a
approached from the
smooth
hearing
process.
room. Ethan remembered him from Lucas's legal team.
Mr.
Miss
Davis,
Brooks was a
the
minor
evidence
intern
clearly
at the
shows a
time she
conflict of
allegedly
interest
removed
regarding
company
the
records,
acquisition.
he said. Her possession of those files
With all due
raises
respect,
serious
Counselor, the
questions.
witness is not
Until the
required
board
inside yet.
determines
We are simply
admissibility,
ensuring the
she will
integrity
not
of the
be permitted to
proceedings.
participate.
Surely you understand the
Annie
need
went
for
still.
discretion.
Marcus gripped
Go
the arm of
inside.
his
The attorney
wheelchair.
still has the
Evelyn
recording.
opened her
You have
case.
to stop him.
Her evidence was gathered during assigned duties, preserved lawfully and reviewed by counsel. You received our proffer last night. That does not give a former intern a platform to make reckless claims against
I know you've been told to
executives.
expect silence.
Across the hall,
But the
hearing
public
room
deserves to
doors
know what
opened
happened in
briefly.
there. It's time for the
Ethan caught
truth.
sight of Lucas near the front
The
table.
company once treated the young
standing
woman
in
like a
tailored
child,
suit
meant
and
only to
speaking a
copy
board member.
papers and
Vanessa
keep
sat
quiet.
beside him in a pale dress, her posture composed.
This statement is neither
her hands
necessary
folded
nor
as if she had
appropriate.
come to
On the
mourn
contrary,
rather than
her
defend
discovery
herself.
of these
Then
inconsistencies
Vanessa
and the
looked toward
preserved
hall.
records are vital
Her
to
eyes
the
settled
public
on
interest.
Annie, and
Let's
the
be clear
faintest
about what
smile touched
happened.
her mouth.
Her
Ethan
father
understood
was
at once.
attacked because
They were
he
not
was
only trying to
protecting
keep
the evidence
out.
in this case.
They wanted Annie to
If you
stand
cannot
in the hallway
speak,
and feel
I will
small
refuse
again.
testimony.
The attorney turned
I
to
am
Ethan.
walking outside now to make my
Mr.
statement
Whitmore,
before the
The
cameras.
board is prepared to hear your statement. There is no need
Bravo,
to involve
brother.
this young woman
Quite
in a
the
dispute
performance.
among former company
You almost had me
officers.
believing you
Annie
cared
looked
about the
down for
common
half a
folk.
second. Mr. Whitmore, go inside.
I am refusing to
Evelyn
let
still
you
has the
choose
recording.
who matters.
Ethan felt the paper napkin in his pocket. He remembered the first time he saw Annie in the company lobby.
Mr. Chairman,
waiting
we must
outside a
object to the
conference room
inclusion of
because
these
someone had
witnesses. They
decided
were
she
not
did
properly
belong
disclosed.
inside.
The
He had
verification
corrected
report
the moment
confirms
and then
their
returned
relevance
to
and
his office,
availability, counsel.
never wondering how
Objection,
many
Your
other
Honor.
doors
This
stayed
evidence
closed
is
after he
outside the
left.
scope. And
Not
furthermore,
today.
I must
He
object
turned toward
again.
the reporters
They are
gathered
attempting
near
to
the
introduce
elevators.
hearsay without
This company
foundation.
once treated Annie Brooks
You may
like a
testify,
child who should copy
subject to
papers and
counsel
keep
establishing
quiet,
foundation
Ethan
for
said.
your documents.
The hallway quieted. Cameras rose. The attorney stepped toward him. Mr. Whitmore, this is neither necessary nor appropriate. Ethan continued, louder now. She found inconsistencies that senior executives
You didn't
ignored.
have to do what
she
you did.
preserved records
Yes, I
when
did.
people
It was
with
the right
titles were
thing.
destroying trust. Her father was attacked after keeping evidence connected
Let
to
the
this
record
case.
show that all
Annie stared at
procedures
him.
were followed
If Annie
according
Brooks
to
is
the
not permitted to
bylaws.
speak, Ethan said, then I will not offer testimony
Madam
today.
Chair,
I will
Exhibit
walk out of
A
this
clearly
building
demonstrates a
and
pattern
make my
of willful
statement
negligence.
in front of every camera
We are prepared to
waiting
proceed.
outside. For several seconds, nobody moved. Lucas appeared in the doorway of the hearing room. Still performing, Ethan? Ethan faced him. His heart pounded, but his voice was
I
calm.
understand the concerns
No,
raised
Lucas,
by the recent
for the
findings,
first time,
but let's
I'm
be
refusing
clear.
to let you choose who
The
matters.
evidence presented
One
does
of the
not
older
undermine-
board members came into the hallway, followed by two others. Evelyn spoke with them quietly, showing the verification report and witness list. The attorney objected twice. Reporters recorded every word they could hear. At last, the board member turned to Annie. Miss Brooks, you may
Members of the
testify.
board,
Subject
thank
to
you for this
counsel
opportunity to
establishing
clarify
foundation
the
for your
situation.
Annie drew
We
a
understand the
breath.
gravity of the concerns
Marcus
raised.
reached out and squeezed her hand. As they entered the hearing room, Ethan slowed beside her. You didn't have to do that, Annie whispered. Yes, he said.
This
I did.
hearing is now in
The
session.
room was filled with faces
The board
Ethan
will
once
review the
knew.
evidence presented
At
concerning the
front,
recent financial
Lucas
discrepancies.
sat behind a nameplate that should never have belonged to him. Vanessa watched Ethan take his seat, then shifted her gaze to the small case Evelyn placed on the table. Inside it was the memory card from Marcus's taxi. Lucas rose to address the board, wearing the expression of a man who still believed he controlled the story. Ethan touched the folded napkin in his pocket and looked at Annie. This time, they would hear everything. Lucas stood at the front table.
Members of the
and
board, I
adjusted
want to
the
thank you for the
microphone as if the
opportunity
room
to
still
address
belonged
these
to him.
concerns
Members
directly.
of the board,
Let us
what you
proceed
are
with the
witnessing
facts.
today is not an investigation.
You are sitting
It is
here
a
today
desperate
only
attempt by
because
my
you
brother
refuse to
reverse
accept the consequences of
his
your own
decisions.
reckless decisions.
Ethan did not move. Beside him, Annie held her hands together in her lap. Marcus sat behind them in his wheelchair, his bandaged temple visible beneath the hearing room lights.
As you can see,
Lucas
the
continued.
approval for the
Ethan
financing
approved the
agreements
financing
came
agreements.
directly from my
Ethan
brother,
pledged personal
who also
assets.
pledged the
When those
personal
decisions
assets.
failed, he lost
He
control
returns
of the
to us
company.
now, desperate,
Now,
bringing
after
along an
seeing his
intern and
estate
frankly,
placed at
what
risk,
appears to be his
he has
taxi
returned
driver,
with an
all in
intern,
a transparent
taxi
attempt to
driver,
win your
and a
sympathy.
story designed to create sympathy.
I appreciate the
Vanessa rose
opportunity
when
to
he
clarify
finished.
the record.
She approached the microphone
This has been a
slowly,
difficult
her
time
face
for everyone
composed.
involved.
I care deeply for Ethan,
I truly
she said.
do still
I
care
still
deeply
do,
for him.
But toward the end of our relationship,
But I'm afraid he became
he became
secretive and reckless.
When I discovered the debt exposure,
I left because I could not stand beside
She looked
decisions I
briefly
had
toward
never
him.
approved.
I left because I could not stand beside decisions I had never approved.
You seem to think you're helping
Ethan heard a
someone who
soft
showed you
sound behind him.
kindness.
Marcus
While
had let out
admirable,
one breath,
your naivete
almost
is
a
quite
laugh,
apparent to the
without
rest of
humor.
us.
Vanessa turned
You
toward Annie.
clearly did not
I
understand the
Miss Brooks
transactions
may
you
believe
saw,
she is
and you
helping
had
someone who once
absolutely
showed her
no
kindness.
authority to
But
retain
she was an
company
intern.
records.
She did not understand the
Young
transactions
sweetheart,
she saw,
it
and she had
seems
no
you
authority
mistook
to
this
retain
paperwork
company
for the
records.
truth because someone
Annie's
powerful
shoulders
made you
tightened.
feel important.
Vanessa gave her a sympathetic smile.
Do
You were
not
young,
answer the
sweetheart.
insult, but
It is easy to
answer
mistake
the
paperwork
lie.
for truth when someone powerful makes you feel important. Evelyn leaned toward Annie and spoke quietly. Do not answer the insult. Answer the lie. When her
I
name
am an
was called,
intern in the
she
records
rose and
department,
crossed to the witness
and I'm
table.
here to provide testimony
She placed
regarding
her
the
canvas
evidence
bag beside her
collected.
chair. The same bag she had
The
carried
witness
on
has no
Ethan's
financial
porch.
qualifications.
Her voice was
She does
low at
not need a
first,
license to
but
identify
clear.
the documents
My
and the
name is Annie
mismatched
Brooks.
dates.
I was a summer intern
I was
in the
assigned to
records
sort the
department at
financing
Whitmore
records
Capital
for
Technologies.
archiving when I discovered
Lucas's
two
attorney
versions of
stood.
the agreements.
The
Both
witness has
bore the
no
older
financial
brother's signature.
qualifications.
This agreement
Evelyn
contained
replied.
limited corporate
She does
authorization,
not need
but
a
the other
license
one
to
reused the
identify
exact
documents
same
placed
signature
in her
page to
assigned
create
work
personal
area
guarantees
or
against the
dates that do
mansion.
not match.
The document
The
claims
board chair
approval in
allowed
a
Annie
Charlotte
to
office,
continue.
even
I
though
was
the
assigned
older
to
brother
sort
was actually
financing
speaking at a
records for
conference in
archiving,
Chicago
Annie
that same
said.
day.
I found two versions of agreements.
The suspicious
bearing Mr.
transfers
Whitmore's
went to
signature.
Hollow Creek Holdings,
One
Reed
contained a
Maritime
limited corporate
Consulting, and North
authorization.
Harbor Global Trust.
Another attached
You
that
admit
same
you photographed
signature
the
page to
confidential
personal
records and were
guarantees
fired for it.
covering his estate.
I photographed them
document appeared
only
on the
after
screen
reporting
behind
that
her.
something looked
Evelyn
wrong.
displayed both versions side by side.
As you can see,
Annie pointed
the
to
approval
date.
date was
This
altered
agreement says
between the
Mr.
two
Whitmore
versions
approved it in his
presented.
Charlotte office. On that
The
same
document
date,
places the businessman
he
in
was speaking at a
Charlotte,
conference
while
in
these
Chicago.
photos prove he was speaking at the
company
Chicago
posted
conference
photographs
that
from the
same
event.
day.
Lucas leaned toward
The
his
Shell
attorney,
Corporation,
whispering
Chomov
sharply.
FGH,
Annie
received
went
$2
on.
million from the numbered
I also
account.
They
found
can't know about the
transfers
numbered
to Hollow
accounts.
Creek
We have to
Holdings.
shut this down.
Reed
We
Maritime
tracked the Shell
Consulting,
company
and
transfers
North Harbor
directly to the
Global
mansion
Trust.
sale.
Later,
This hidden network
when
later
Mr.
surfaced as the
Whitmore
fast
listed his
cash
mansion for
buyer.
sale, Hollow Creek
And that is
Holdings
how the
appeared
funds
as
were
the buyer
diverted
seeking
before the
fast
final
cash
closing.
Vanessa's expression remained calm, but her hand closed around the pen on the
Isn't
table.
it true that you used your phone to photograph
confidential
privileged
records,
documents during the
Lucas's attorney
deposition?
said when
I
Annie
used my
finished.
device to record the
Isn't it
evidence.
true you were terminated after violating
I only
policy?
photographed the records after I
photographed the
reported
records
that
after I
something looked
reported that
wrong.
something looked wrong.
I was
Annie answered.
explicitly told to stay in my place.
I was told to stay in my place.
Given your age at the time,
were an
perhaps you
intern.
didn't fully comprehend what you were
simply not have
seeing.
understood what you were seeing.
I understood it
Annie looked
perfectly.
toward Vanessa,
My
then back
testimony
at the attorney.
stands.
I was
Being only an intern is
she said.
exactly why the
That
conspirators
is why
never
they
bothered to hide the truth from her.
me. The hearing room went silent. Evelyn
Thank you for
thanked
your
her and called
testimony, Ms.
Marcus
Johnson.
Brooks.
Mr.
Marcus
Davis,
wheeled himself
whenever
to the
you are
witness
ready,
position
please take
rather
the
than
witness
allow an
stand.
attendant to push him. He moved slowly, hiding the pain as best he could. Annie watched every inch of the distance. Lucas's attorney began before
So
Evelyn
you
could
expect the
question
board
him.
to believe this, despite the
Mr.
fact you
Brooks,
are, after all, just
You
a
are
taxi driver.
My
correct?
profession does not alter
Yes,
the
Sid.
facts, counselor.
You have no background
Given
in
the
corporate
accelerated
financing,
amortization and the
offshore
triggering of the
accounts,
capital
or
call
executive
provisions,
loan
how did you
structures.
assess the
No,
default
sir.
risk?
I didn't,
And
sir.
yet you expect
I trusted
this
the
board
bank.
to rely on your understanding
I
of a
understand
private
she was kissing
conversation.
one brother while
Marcus
laughing
adjusted
about
the
ruining the
microphone.
other.
I don't understand offshore
cuts
banking
through the
the way
legal
your clients
fog.
do. I understand
The fare
a
was
woman
agreed at
kissing one brother
$40 to the
while laughing
downtown
about
hotel.
ruining the other.
We took the
Someone in
quickest
back
evening
row
route
whispered.
down
The
I-395
attorney's
to the
face
3rd Street
hardened.
Tunnel.
Marcus
As the
explained
notice
fare,
clearly states,
the
for
downtown
driver
hotel,
safety,
the
both
evening
audio
route,
and video
the notices
recording are
posted
continuously
inside
in
the cab
progress
stating
inside
that
the
audio
cab.
and video recording
The
occurred
elegant
for
woman
driver
paid by
safety.
credit card,
He
and
explained
I
that
preserved the
Vanessa
trip
paid by
log,
credit
receipt,
card,
and
that
memory
he
card.
preserved the trip
Why
log,
did you keep it
receipt,
for
and
2
memory
years?
card. Why did you keep
I kept the recording
for 2
because I was
years?
afraid.
A board member asked.
Raising my
Marcus
daughter
looked
while
down at his
facing
hands.
people with money
Because I
and
was
lawyers.
afraid. I was raising my daughter.
All I
Those two
had was an
people had
old
money and
taxi
lawyers,
with taxi
and I had a
with
taxi
200,000 miles
on it. He lifted his eyes toward Lucas. Then I saw Mr.
That's when I
Whitmore's house
realized they
listed
were
for
still
sale,
going through with it.
And I understood they were
We
still
asked the
carrying
board
out
to
what they
authenticate
discussed
this
in my
recording
car.
and allow us to
Evelyn
play it
rose.
now.
With the board's permission, I would
This
like to
recording
play
is
the authenticated
absolutely
recording and
outrageous.
submit
It's
the
completely
verification report.
illegitimate, and we
Lucas
deny
stood.
its
This is
validity
outrageous.
entirely.
A private
You
conversation
can't record a
recorded
private
by
conversation
driver.
like that.
The recording notices
The visible
were visible
notices
in the vehicle,
inside the
Evelyn
vehicle
said.
clearly state that
The
consent
original
was given.
file metadata,
The
dispatch
metadata
record, and
confirms the
credit card
dispatch
receipt
records,
established
the
date,
credit card receipt
passengers,
verifies
and
the
route.
date and the
The board
passengers,
chair
and
nodded.
the route is
Play it.
clear.
The large screen changed. The taxi interior appeared, lit by passing streetlights. Vanessa sat beside Lucas in the back seat. Ethan saw her remove the engagement ring from her finger before she leaned over and kissed his brother. No one in the room spoke. Vanessa's recorded voice
Once
filled
the
the
older
hall.
businessman
Once
signs the
Ethan
final
signs the last
guarantees, the debt belongs to him, and the offshore money belongs to the conspirators.
Lucas's
When the older
image
man
smiled,
cannot pay,
and when he cannot
the
pay,
mansion will be
sold to them for less than half its value.
For less than half its value. Vanessa lowered her eyes.
The funds
at the
were
table.
explicitly redirected
Lucas
based on
remained
his
rigid,
instructions.
staring at the screen as if force alone could stop it. Then the recording reached the sentence
Your
Marcus
father
had
is
warned
nothing
them
but a
about.
hired wheel,
Lucas laughed
and
from
you're
the
just an
screen.
intern.
And who
You
is going
can't
to
stop
us?
this.
His little black intern?
People like them
cab
disappear
driver
when
father?
money talks.
Vanessa answered. People like that disappear the moment money talks. Annie did not lower her
This
head.
graph highlights
Marcus
the
sat
dramatic
behind her,
shift in the
one
defendant's
bruised hand
finances.
resting on the
As
arm
you
of
can
his
see,
wheelchair.
the outgoing
Evelyn
funds
turned off
spiked
the video
immediately after
and
the
placed
incident.
another file on the screen.
The sequence
Bank
is clear.
transfers, corporate
The bank
registrations,
transfers
and
match the
cash
shell
offer
corporate
for Whitmore
registrations,
Estate.
culminating
The
in this
recording
cash offer
establishes
for the
motive
mansion.
and
The
plan,
recording
she
establishes
said.
motive
The
and
money trail
plan. The
establishes
money trail
execution.
establishes execution, and the forged guarantees establish method.
The attempted
purchase of the mansion proves the conspiracy remained active this week.
This is absolutely absurd. How dare you?
The
evidence proves nothing. Private words can be twisted by desperate people.
For 2 years, he had been spoken about.
Members of the
condemned and
board,
reduced to
for
signatures
2
on
years
papers
I
he had
signed
not
papers
understood.
I didn't understand.
Now every eye in the room
But today,
turned toward him.
I want to
He
tell
touched
you
the
what really
folded
happened.
napkin in his pocket. Then let
I'm
me
gonna tell
them,
you what
he
this scheme
said,
truly cost.
what your plan cost. Ethan stepped toward the witness table, but he did not look at Lucas first. He looked at Annie, then at Marcus, whose bandaged head and bruised face said more about the cost of truth than any
My full name
financial
is
report
Ethan,
could.
and
My
I
name is
understand the
Ethan
gravity
Charles
of my
Whitmore,
sworn
he
words
began.
today.
My signature appears on agreements.
My
that
signature
helped destroy
appeared on
the
agreements
company
that
I
helped
built.
destroy my
I signed
company.
papers I should have read
I
more
trusted the
carefully.
woman I planned to
trusted
marry and the
woman
brother I
planned
thought
to
would
marry
protect
and
the
brother
family.
I believed would
I realize
protect our
now that
family.
placing my
That
trust in
my
you was a
failure.
complete
Lucas
failure.
gave a short laugh. At least we finally agree on something. Ethan turned toward him.
Carelessness
Do not
with
mistake
trust is not
responsibility
the
for
same
guilt.
as criminal
I
guilt.
was careless with my trust. You were criminal with it. The room fell quiet again. I did not
create offshore accounts. And I did not
attach my
approve
signature
false
to
guarantees.
I never approved.
The records here
I did not
prove
hire
that.
men to frighten me into selling
I
my
never
parents'
hired
home.
men to frighten
And
him
I
into
did not
selling his
attack a
parents'
working
home.
man because
And I
his
never
taxi
attacked a
preserved the
working man whose
conversation
taxi
too wealthy
preserved an
people assumed
incriminating
would never matter.
conversation.
Marcus
We
lowered
followed
his
the
eyes for a
protocol
moment.
exactly as
Annie
written.
reached back and rested her hand
With
on
all
his
due
shoulder.
respect, Mr.
Vanessa
Davies,
rose from her chair.
the evidence suggests
Ethan,
otherwise.
You are hurt. I understand
You
that.
signed the
But
documents
signed
because
those
you
documents
believed in the
because you
plans
believed
we
in the
made
plans
together.
together. He looked at her, and for the first time there was no
I
longing
truly
left
loved
in his
Vanessa,
face.
but
I did
everything
believe
she
in us,
placed under my
he said.
signature was false,
I loved you.
marking the
That
final
was real.
emotional break between
Everything
them.
you placed under my signature
You chose
was
a
not.
frightened girl
Her
and a
mouth tightened.
taxi driver
You
over
would rather
yourself.
believe a frightened girl and a taxi driver than
How
admit
could you
ruined
do that,
yourself.
Ethan?
Annie started to rise.
I believe
But Ethan
Annie
raised
and
one
Marcus
hand
because they
gently,
told the
not
truth
to
when lying
silence
would have
her,
been easier.
but to tell her he could answer
I
this
condemn
part.
Vanessa's
I
theft
believed
of
them
comfort
because
and
they told the
power.
truth when lying
The
would
company
have been
would have
easier.
died under Ethan
You
anyway.
had every comfort money could buy.
Does what was necessary
and you
mean
used it
stealing
to
from your
steal.
own brother?
Lucas shoved his chair back.
You slept with the woman I loved and sent men to
Company would have
terrorize
died
me.
under you Anyway.
I built
You never
half
had
this
the
company,
stomach to do
Ethan.
what was necessary.
I
What was
spent my
necessary?
whole life watching you receive the
asked.
family name, the
Stealing from your
house,
brother,
and all the
sleeping
praise.
with the woman he loved.
Father left
sending
you a
men
choice,
to
Lucas.
terrorize him
To
at
build
his
a
own
name of
gate.
your own. A choice.
I
You mean
built
like
half that
them.
company.
They don't
Lucas
belong
snapped.
here, Ethan. This is
I
our
lived
world.
my whole life
I
watching
can't
you get
believe
the
he
name,
said that in front of
the
everyone.
house.
His career
The
is
praise.
finished.
Father left you everything
He
that
finally
mattered.
showed his true
He
colors.
left you a choice.
Lucas
Ethan said.
already lost before the
You could
vote
have built
because
a
he
name of
still
your own.
judges a man's
Lucas
worth
pointed
by the
toward Annie
rooms
and
he is
Marcus.
allowed to
And you
enter.
would have wasted everything on people who never belonged in our world.
Based
A
on
murmur ran through the
authenticated
room.
evidence,
Lucas heard it too
I am
late.
calling for
His
an
anger had
immediate
said
vote
what his
to
careful
suspend
speeches
Lucas.
never would. Ethan looked at
Effective
his brother
immediately,
for a
you are
long
stripped of
moment.
all executive
That
authority.
is why
All
you
company
lost before
records
anyone
must be
voted
preserved.
today.
This is unacceptable.
You still
can't
think
do
a man's
this.
worth is decided by the room he is allowed into. The
In
chairwoman
light of the
board,
findings, I
Margaret
hereby
Ellis,
motion for an
removed her
immediate
glasses
vote
and
on the
turned toward
matter.
The company council.
We are
Based on
ordering the
authenticated
suspension of the
evidence
powerful
presented
executive
today,
from all
I am
authority
calling for
and
an
demand the
immediate vote to
preservation of every
suspend
company
Lucas
record
Whitmore
connected
from
to the
all
fraudulent
executive authority
entities.
and preserve every company record connected to these entities. Lucas looked around. You cannot be serious. One by one, hands rose
Effective
around the
immediately,
board
all
table.
pending
The vote was
transactions
unanimous.
involving the shell buyer
Margaret
are hereby
continued.
frozen.
All pending
This includes the
transactions
acquisition of
involving
the
Hollow
family
Creek Holdings
estate.
are frozen, including
Do
any
you think this
acquisition
gives
of
you your
Whitmore
life
estate.
back?
Council will cooperate with federal investigators and the banks involved. The hearing room
This
doors
judgment
opened.
does not
Two
restore
federal
his old
agents
life,
entered with Evelyn's associate,
but gives
and
him a
approached
chance
Lucas
to
and
build
Vanessa.
one worth
Vanessa
saving.
stared at Ethan. You think this gives you your life
I will
back?
sue every
Ethan
single one
touched
of you.
the folded
This is
napkin in his
political
pocket.
persecution.
No, he
You are
said.
resisting
It gives me
arrest.
the chance to
Stop
build one that was
struggling.
worth saving. Lucas protested as the agents instructed him to come with them. Vanessa said nothing more. Without her composed smile, Without Lucas beside her, she looked smaller than Ethan remembered. He watched them leave and felt no triumph, only the relief of a man who had finally stopped carrying another person's crime as his own shame. Annie stood near Marcus's wheelchair, crying quietly now that she no longer had to hold herself together. Ethan crossed the room and knelt
I don't know
beside
how I
Marcus.
can ever
"I
repay
don't
the
know how to
courage
repay
that
you," he
saved
said.
me.
Marcus managed a tired smile.
Make sure my
"Start by
daughter never
making
has
sure
to
my
fight
daughter
so
never has to
hard
fight
just
that
to be
hard
hurt
just to be
again."
hurt again." Ethan looked at Annie. "I will." The investigation lasted
Yeah,
months.
just drop me at the bank.
The recording
That matches
from
the
Marcus's
timestamp
taxi
on the
was
wire
matched to
transfer
bank
exactly.
transfers, false
And the
loan
loan
packages,
package
and
confirms
corporate
the
filings
address.
Annie had
We
preserved.
followed the trail back to the shell
The debts
companies.
placed on Ethan
These
through
debts are
fraud
now
were
canceled,
voided.
and the assets
Assets
secured.
hidden through Lucas and Vanessa's shell companies
The
were
jury
recovered.
finds you guilty on all counts.
Lucas was convicted
fraud,
of fraud,
money laundering,
money
forger,
laundering,
and witness intimidation.
forgery, and witness intimidation. Vanessa was convicted as his co-conspirator, and for her role in the attempt to seize Whitmore Estate. The men who attacked Marcus also received prison sentences. When Ethan finally walked back through the doors of Whitmore Capital Technologies as its restored chief executive, there was no celebration waiting in the lobby. He had asked for none. Marcus walked beside him with a cane, and Annie carried the same canvas
Tervis.
bag she had brought to the
Effective
mansion.
immediately, we are
At his first
establishing an
company meeting,
independent ethics and
Ethan
whistleblower
announced an
office.
independent
This
ethics
critical
and
step will
whistleblower
prevent
office.
future We are expanding our
Paid
commitment
internship
to include
programs
paid
for students
internships
from
for overlooked communities and robust legal protection for employees who report wrongdoing. A company does not fail when money disappears,
he told the staff.
but when leaders decide
It
a
failed the
truth
first
teller
day
is
someone
too
speaks the
small
truth,
to matter.
And the people in charge
I'll accept the
decide
scholarship,
that
but
person
only
is
if
too
this
small
office
to
guarantees
matter.
protection
He
for the
paid
next
for
person.
Annie's
You have my
education
word. We will
and placed
implement
her
the new
under
policies
Evelyn's
immediately.
mentorship.
That is
Annie
acceptable.
accepted only after making him promise that the new office
It's an honor
would
to have
protect
you as
the
part of the
next
team,
intern,
Thomas.
driver, or
Welcome
clerk
aboard.
who saw something powerful
Thank you, sir.
people
I appreciate the
wanted.
opportunity.
Marcus became
A
Ethan's
man with your
personal
wealth,
driver after
sir.
his ribs
I
healed.
would have thought you could
You know,
afford something
Marcus
newer
said on
than
his
an
first
old
morning,
cab.
opening the car door. A man with your bank account could buy something newer than my cab. Ethan moved to the passenger
trust you
seat
more than the
instead
car.
of the back. I trust the driver more than the car.
Welcome
3
back.
years
We're so
later,
proud of
Annie
you.
returned to Whitmore Estate
good to be
wearing a
home.
tailored Navy
The
suit.
studies paid off.
She
You
had
look
completed her
wonderful,
studies,
truly.
worked beside
The
Evelyn,
language here
and
solidifies
helped
the
design
institutional
company's
reform we
reporting
discussed.
Exactly.
protections.
The reporting structure
That
is
evening,
clear and provides
Ethan
strong
introduced her
protections.
as senior
This draft
advisor
looks
for
excellent.
ethics,
Well done.
whistleblower
It is my
protection,
distinct
and
honor to
community
introduce our new
accountability.
senior
The
advisor
mansion
for
had changed.
ethics,
Its
whistleblower
library now
protection, and
housed the
community
Annie Brooks
accountability.
Scholarship Program.
As
The
you can
music
see in
room
the
held
brochure,
scholarship
the program
meetings
covers
instead of
full
silence.
tuition and
Near
living
the front hall
expenses.
hung a framed
We are
image
looking for
taken from
leaders who are
Marcus's
committed
taxi
to making
camera.
a difference.
His
Your
eyes
father's
reflected in the
legacy
rearview
lives
mirror
on.
the night he carried
Not
the
just
truth.
in this room,
Beneath it, Annie had
but in the
written,
lives
the
we
truth was
touch."
never invisible. People simply chose not to look. Later, as Marcus poured coffee and Annie set her briefcase beside the fireplace, Ethan stood before the window where the sale sign had once been. "I thought saving this mansion meant getting my old life back," he said. Annie smiled. "No,
I thought
sir.
saving this place meant
Saving
getting my
the
old
truth
life
gave
back.
you a better one." Ethan Whitmore
But it was
had
never
once
about the
believed
house,
the
was
mansion
it?
was proof that a man had succeeded.
Saving the
After
truth
losing
gave
nearly
him a
everything,
better
He
life.
understood at last. A house becomes a home only when the people inside it would still choose you after the money is gone. This story reminds us that wealth, status, and a grand house cannot protect a person from betrayal, but truth and loyalty can help them rise again. Ethan nearly lost everything because he trusted the wrong people. Yet he was saved by Annie and Marcus, 2 people others considered unimportant. Their courage proves that no voice is too small when it speaks the truth. Real justice begins when we stop judging people by money, race, or position, and start valuing character, kindness.
By focusing on
courage to
character
stand
above
beside
class,
someone when the
we
rest
ensure
of the
that
world
every
has
voice
walked
in this
away.
room holds
This
equal
video
weight.
is a work of fiction
This is the
created
foundation
with
of
the
our work.
assistance of artificial intelligence. All characters, events, and situations are not real and do not represent any actual people or true stories. The content is intended for storytelling and emotional illustration only.